literally was in a group chat with fucking
Greg.
with
I was
Aqua
there.
and fucking Socks, and I was like,
Let the
bro,
history books know I
Autismus
was
is
there.
cool, bro. You gotta just give him another chance. And they were
Hey,
like,
look, this
now
is-
I get fucking raped because they're like, they were like, we tried to tell you. I was literally fighting with them, like, bro, Classics and Socks were like at the point of like not fucking with me because I was like, bro, I'm telling you, like, they just want to let you go. Autismus are ruthless, are chill dudes. Like, 6 months down the road, they're like every day, fuck you, Greg, you piece of shit.
Dude, it's
You
so
got a black
funny.
wife.
It's so funny because it's like the other side of the coin for me. Because people are like, oh, we told you about Greg, dude. We told you about Greg. Because like we back then, we kind of joined forces to open up the floodgates to a lot of the new fags and all that shit. And all the people who didn't like fuck with like the Clippers or whatever. And yeah, same thing for me. 6 months down the line, people, we told you, dude. We told you about Greg. And I'm like, yeah, okay. I get it.
Well, look, if me and fucking Autismus, and that doesn't mean, listen, he's gonna still think that some of my posts are cool. He's gonna still judge me for cracking, some non-whites.
No, this is crazy
and
right
that's
now. This is like a bridge being like assembled or something.
love.
Well, that's
This is
kind
a
of what I
good
wanted to do.
example. It's a good example.
Right.
It's a good example being set.
It's-
And look, I'm gonna take the same fucking energy. I'll just say this, so that we could just settle. It's like UF. I'm not saying you guys quote are attacking grapers. Here's all my evidence. You guys are fucking shitheads because of it. That's not what I'm saying. I actually don't have a problem with any of you guys. I never really have. But what I will say is this: if the effect is that we have multiple spaces, multiple days where people are, even if people just think that's what's happening, the effect is already there. And one, you should take the olive branch. I have no fucking beef with that crew. I'm saying, like, why not go and attack our enemies is what I'm offering as an overture.
We are
Okay?
taking the olive
I'm
branch,
not
bro.
sitting here.
I'm trying to stay in the group chat. Stop play keeps kicking me, bro.
What are you munching on over there?
I'm eating a Chipotle burrito, bro.
Oh fuck, I'm
But
jealous.
no,
All right,
like,
sorry, Mr.
dude,
White. I needed to know
if Greg
that.
and Autismus can be like, as two of the, OGs or whatever, like shaking hands, that I feel like that's a greater metaphor for everything that's going on right now.
I agree with Gen Z, but I'll also say this in the same sense. Look, take the olive branch when someone offers it to you. I'm doing the same thing to UF, and we don't even have that. We have no beef compared to what Autismus and Greg have. But I will say this: if you push certain people too far and they don't want to fuck with you anymore, you got to just accept that, bro. Like, that is actually part of the game when you're playing the game of just like, stirring the pot. Like, some people aren't down for that, and you just have to accept that. And it doesn't mean to go double down, triple down, and be like, well, what did I do? Show the proof. It ain't about that. All I'm saying is, it really ain't about that. It's about, if people get that feeling, or that if the effect of what you do is that people feel like they don't want to fuck with you, okay, maybe they come around later, but like, it's not an opportunity to create more division, create more bullshit. Like, guess what? If Hoplite don't fuck with you, that's just what it is.
Yeah,
That's
that's
what it
why
is.
I DM'd Greg this morning. I was like, just don't even try with the hoplite stuff anymore. You know, I
Yeah,
don't even.
the thing you got to understand is when you come after some of these guys, for better or for worse, there is an infrastructure in place. You have to be prepared for the consequences. You're going to get blacklisted. Your reach will get totally muted.
Yeah,
They'll
100%.
they'll block you. You'll get blocked by so many fucking accounts that the algorithm will just detect you as like whatever, and your reach will go nowhere, and that benefits nobody. So let's say you turn around and you want to turn a new leaf, and you're like, okay, I'm not gonna A-log these guys anymore. I just want to post Nick clips. I just want to boost Nick. Suddenly your reach goes nowhere because you've been blacklisted. And again, for better or for worse, that's just the way that it works.
That is true. That happened to my
Yeah,
account.
go raid Sneeko for 6 months and then see how we feel about it. All I'm saying is, are on this new wave of like, we don't fuck with these people because they have people who are in the movement that I respect who don't fuck with them. I honestly think, and I've said this about your whole crew. Okay, I used to tell people all the time, like, yo, you hang around UF, you hang around CBG and these boys, like, they will teach you the first rule of the internet. Okay, people should not take advantage of the internet. It's fun, and if the effect is that guys like think that you got to just
Bros
swallow
at the
that
beach.
pill because no one did that to you but yourself.
CBG, I'd like to say
Yeah,
something
you're
on behalf
breaking
of the
up a little
Lions
bit,
Den.
Mr. White, but go ahead, Ben.
If you're willing to, we'll take peace with you and everything, unity. We'll shake hands and leave this all behind. But you got to bend the knee to the Lion's Den.
Bro, who are you?
Nigga.
Straight.
Oh,
Literally
no,
kill
no,
I'm
no,
yourself.
trolling.
no.
I'm
2 days
trolling.
ago.
I'm trolling. I'm trolling. Chill.
Holy coal.
Nice.
Yo.
Bro, you need to post that fucking lion where it's like
Wait,
how bro felt when he said this.
Dude, I've literally been saying that. Ben, are all those posts of like those like shitty AI edits of like lions, and then like all the comments being like the lion emoji? Are those like serious?
Hell yeah. That shit-
I love you.
Totally, but you know what I'm saying, right? Do you understand where I'm coming from, bro?
Love one.
Okay, I'm being serious, Mr. White. I can't really like hear you. You're kind of quiet.
I know. I'm on it.
Dude, Mr. White gave me confession advice. He's a cool guy.
Yeah, Mr. White's a W.
I just like. I'm down for everyone, but like I'm gonna just say this: y'all can't fucking be beefing with Hop. Like sort it out, even if it takes months. Do the right thing and get on his good side. Like what the fuck, guys?
I'm good with like
It's
not
more
being in
fun.
Hold on, because I know my mic sucks. Then please, I'm telling you, go out of your way to fix it. Make an effort. Go rape Sneeko for fucking 3
Well,
months.
Mr. White, real quick. I know you guys are like, yeah, we want to get cool with Hot Light, but like in the last 24 hours, it's been nothing but combative. Like, let's just be totally for real.
Yeah,
like,
Yeah.
right now, it's
Like
I'm
CBG
not
just
really
said,
doing that.
CBG has been trying, and like
No, I'm
Greg
talking,
also said this, like
actually, directly to CBG. It's like if we're going on that path, it's like, hey, we'll just kind of all like, eventually get cool with each other, but we're trying to support Nick overarching. You can't be super combative in a fucking group chat.
I'm not combative with Hop.
No, I mean objectively, I think you were, right? I mean, like, come on.
Not really.
Just lately. I think before it was fine, but lately.
I'm super nonchalant with that, and if I'm saying that, it's like, all right, come on, like, at
But-
the end of the day.
Listen.
Hey, sorry, bro.
Come on, the good old days of like 3 months ago. Come on, we need to get back to that.
Right?
It
Come
was
on,
goated.
man.
yeah, we need to get back to the 3 spaces a day.
No.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll just say this: make the effort, and I'll notice it. And even if Hop doesn't notice it, right? Like, just do it, bro. Like, Hoplite is a W for this movement.
Right now, I'm really not going to forgive my rapist while his penis is still in me, bro. Like,
No, but like, what's who do you support overall more than anybody, right?
CBG,
Like you-
the olive branch is being extended to you, dude. You're not extending the olive branch.
Right. The idea
His
is that
dick
you
is still
support
in my
Nick
ass, bro.
overall, right? Do you support Nick?
Kind of like a W
More-
for him,
Yeah,
though,
but
if you think about
CBG,
it.
you're trolling. You're trolling.
Yeah, he's trolling. You're trolling right now, CBG.
I'm not. It's-
Guys, we're
it's-
post irony.
It's illustrative. I'm using humor to illustrate.
Yeah,
my
I
point,
was
bro.
staring at my fucking screen really
No.
hard just now. Like, wait, was
But
that
your
irony?
number
Just
one
detected?
objective is to
Guys.
support Nick, CBG, right?
Yeah, obviously.
So then, like, bro, like all that other shit's retarded.
Yeah, exactly.
So then, just shut the fuck up. If Hop goes fuck you, go okay. I'm sorry.
Well, okay.
You're not cool with that.
A wise man once said, "No
Like, it's that
apologies."
simple.
Yeah,
Right?
It doesn't need to be that extreme, bro. It's just like stand with each
No,
other.
that's
Or
the
you can-
perfect example. If someone says fuck you and you fucked up, say I'm sorry.
You donate $100,000 to the movement and then come talk to us. How about that?
Well, CBG has donated
Right.
$1,000, so be quiet.
No,
little boy.
but guys, like
Yeah, pipe down,
non-trolling.
little guy, pipe down.
Let's hey, Greg, why don't you initiate some
Hoplite?
type
I
of,
don't
like,
fucking think so,
peace
dude.
offering?
Hold on,
and
let
then
Gen Z
we can
Nobody's
talk.
troll.
donated more than
What's up?
Hoplite.
What's up, Gen Z?
Why don't you,
Nobody's
for the
told-
next like maybe like 60 seconds, we can all just say some peaceful shit, and then like we can start trolling each other because like
Yeah,
it's
why
kind
don't
of
we all
dragging
just
on.
say one thing we like about
Yeah,
each
like
other?
look, CBG, your guys are cool. Just like
Mm.
understand that Nick's the movement, not necessarily the infighter.
Can we do one good and one bad thing?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I like
I think
I
that's-
like
I don't know
how
about
that.
how
That's
very
smart Nick
counterintuitive.
is.
I
One
like
nice
your
like how-
profile picture. Also, you're a fucking faggot.
So
Um, I like how Greg is like chill as fuck.
true.
So true.
So that's my that's my
Yo,
one thing.
Greg, it is true. I don't want to like air out too much in public, but one time when you were on stream and you were talking about how you're always like fighting for us in the background, like that shit like actually was like, yo, maybe we should stop trolling Greg. Because it is true. And then we flash forward like a month later, like now, and it's still happening.
That's because honestly, objectively, and I've said this on my stream, even when at the heat of our like quote unquote beef, I would always be like, it is more fun when that crew's around. In
It's
the
so
chats,
true.
in
That
the
is
fucking,
true.
in the stream, whatever. Even when I'm the fucking target, like I can laugh at a good joke. If a motherfucker is just like, oh, you're a fucking faggot and you fucking have, and then like, oh, you have a brown wife, you have a brown coat, whatever. It's like sometimes it's like okay, but if it's funny. If it's actually like good, like I laugh when I see the 4999. My fucking girl sends that shit to me. I'll like mistype some shit or something, and then she'll reply with the 499, and I'm like, God, please stop. But like I can fucking laugh at a good joke.
Yeah, there's definitely like an element to where like we're rooting for y'all to just to like drop the shit because we can all like, hang
like
out
objectively, it's like it's
Yeah,
more fun
yeah.
when like there's a lot of trolls that just troll, but it's like malicious and not funny. And then it's like
again. Right.
you guys actually are funny if it could be redirected and
Dude.
and act and like you know.
Dude, that's why I've been
And-
trying to like get back in these group chats for like the past month, bro. Like
Yeah,
What do you
Dude,
do?
Gucci
you
backpack,
have
bro.
more.
Can I,
What are you
CBG
guys
is
doing?
Gucci
You have
backpack.
been
Just try to
telling
make
me-
it. Just
telling
make a
me-
new account.
You have been telling me
Wait.
this is a Gucci backpack I need to let go of for a month, and I've been trying this whole time, bro.
Dude, Gucci backpack.
Like, shut up, bro.
Just
can
to
I-
embrace the role, bro. Or log
Can I
off.
get an admission from the crew though? Like, I just need to know because I'm all for the unity. Like, you guys are. I need to know you guys are like anti-trolling, or not anti-trolling, but anti-doxing,
that's not-
anti-doxing.
Whoa.
Yeah, 100%.
100% anti.
Because
Well, like,
hey,
1
look,
million
I'm not even
percent.
I'm not gonna act like I have all the receipts, but I know there's been shit going
Right.
around, and maybe it's people who are going, hey, look, it could be people who are your guys' enemies too. It's like, bro, we can't have the fucking doxing shit.
No,
That
Mr.
cannot be
White.
a thing.
Yeah, no, we have literally like anyone
Someone
that knows.
doxes me, I will come to their house and I will
Yeah,
tell
no
them
doc-
about
hey,
it. You
no
know what I mean?
doxing, no
How-
doxing.
Anyone that
Bro,
knows me, and that's not saying
trumplication.
much, will speak for the fact that
I-
I'm like I do not fuck with doxing. Like literally, like so back in January when like that shit was happening with Greg, the only reason I took, well, I mean, I was like literally like 200 followers. I was a nobody, but the only reason I like sympathized with Greg was because he was getting doxed, and I do not fuck with that shit like at all. Every single
Okay,
time
so
someone's
UF
mentioned,
don't fuck with doxing, but like everyone doesn't fuck with doxing. CBG,
Yep.
Yes,
all
yes,
Of us do.
I-
all of us
I'm-
do not.
because you guys are funny. Like Greg's making a point. You guys are hilarious.
Yeah.
Mr.
All of
White,
us
we
are
have
can't do
literally
that.
no, we have
Trying to keep
never
people
even
over.
like messed with the idea of doxing anyone. That's just like
Yep.
that's just like retarded. Like not even in the question.
But even
Also,
joking
too
about that shit for a
casual.
No,
troll
It's
ain't
not
it.
even joking for trolls. We have literally we've never even said I'm gonna dox you like to someone
I believe you.
as a troll.
I
Well,
believe
look, it's not even about whether I believe or not. Like, if you say that, I can only take a man at his word
Right.
right here, right now, right?
Yeah, that's fair enough.
you. UF
Is
I
what it
believe
is. But I have to say that outright. Like, you know, if I catch wind of people doxing, like, I got to
True.
protect myself.
you. Yeah, if you get caught
Yeah.
doxing, it's like fuck you forever. But
Well,
at the moment,
part
don't
of the
believe
reason
you.
I joined this space was to like address that because we were getting like accused of doxing because of something that's happening in the background that I don't really know all too well, and Greg knows more about. Greg knows about this more than I do. I like just know like the vague details, And I was just super shocked. I was like, where are these allegations coming? Because it started as like everyone saying that we're like logging Groypers and reporting Groypers, which is like, okay, whatever. But then like we started getting accused of doxing. And I was like, okay, what's happening? Is this like a game of telephone gone bad or what? But we've literally have never even messed with doxing. I have no idea where that came from.
Fair enough. Someone also has their
no,
shit
it came-
unmuted.
No, it came
I can
from
hear
it came
delay.
from it came from Minnesota. He blatantly said that people were doxing him.
Yeah,
I know
I
exactly
mean-
what
knows
he's
that he
talking
said
about,
that
and
it's
I
not
just had a
us.
private conversation with him. He does not think it was anybody in the space right now.
I personally don't think it was UF or CBG, just off my relationship with them, I guess.
Let's go.
To be honest, I think it's either this guy that did that, and it wasn't a doxing. It was basically a vague. It was like a cryptic threat of a dox. I know the exact post. I had a long conversation with him and whatever, but I'll just say he doesn't even think, nor do I, that it's anybody in here. It's either a new guy or it's somebody who doesn't like them that was trying to make it look like it was them.
Yeah, I don't think
I
it's CBG.
honestly don't know
Yeah.
which of the two.
It's
but
not
this
CBG
account
or
kind of popped
UF.
out of nowhere.
We've known them a long time, and we've seen them in dumbass shit, and they've never done that. So
Well,
Yeah,
look,
no.
and I believe that. Look,
like-
here's the thing. I believe them if they say it, and that's why I just ask outright, because all it takes is somebody saying directly, like, "Hey, are you guys against this and this and this?" And if that's the case, like, I can believe it. I don't have to go to the fucking the special files. I don't need to go to the UF file to figure it out. If he says he's against doxing, I believe him. I will also say this, UF, as someone who, bro, I know I seem like fucking wholesome Chungus guy on the internet. In real life, I'm a shit stirrer. I always was. And you get yourself kind of lumped in with people that maybe aren't like you when you do that too much. So just take that and consider what I said earlier, bro, please. Because I do think you guys are fucking hilarious. I do think it's fun when you guys are attacking our enemies. I think it's fun. But, like, just don't get lumped. You know what I mean? Like, don't allow yourself to get out of balance so much that you get lumped in with that bullshit.
Bro, if
True.
we weren't vaulted during the Chad Champion thing, we would have been the strongest soldiers, bro. Seriously,
Bro, literally.
And yet,
It's our fault.
and yet you weren't because of the bullshit. So that's got to end.
Yeah.
yeah, CBG. There is a
Oh,
level,
yeah, we gotta figure that out.
There's a level CBG where there's like,
Oh,
I see you in chats, right? And I'm like, dude, you like instigating, brother. You can't deny this. Like, if someone just says something, just say, "All right, my bad. I appreciate it."
Yeah, well, I instigate because it's like funny.
No,
bro.
I get it, dude. I get it. I'm just saying.
How
like,
about
every
the safe
single
word?
chat I'm in? Hold on. Every single chat I'm in, CBG, it's like someone says something. You're like, "Yeah, how do you prove it?" Or like, I'm like, "Dude, all right, just fucking," you know what I mean? Like, can we just dap up a little bit and move on sometimes?
Look,
God, damn.
let's use the safe word. We do a little trolling. You guys are starting to fly too close to the sun.
Right.
Maybe give some of these new fags and these people who are a little more hot-headed, like, maybe give them an out. Hey, we just do a little trolling, guys.
Yeah,
We're
bro.
groypers. We're all groypers.
Nah,
We do
it's like the
try a
old
little
homies.
unity.
The
Try a
old
little
homies,
unity.
CBG, we're sitting here like putting our hand out. You're like, "Huh, what do you mean?" It's like, dude, can we lock the fuck in and start trolling some Jews or something?
Alright,
What are we
bro.
doing?
Alright, bro. What do you want me to do? Like, stop
I'm
trolling
telling
me.
you what to do. If someone talks shit, say, "Hey, my bad. That was my fucking fault. I apologize."
Okay, a wise man did say no apologies. So, like, can't blame
but
CBG.
also
Yeah, wise
That
man
man
was
was a
no
Jewish.
apology.
That man's a Jewish Canadian, and he's
True.
half black. Okay,
True.
stop that.
True.
Nag is black?
True.
He's half black, Jewish, and Canadian. That's
Yo, Nag is black and Jewish? Oh, shit.
Get
So
the fuck
true.
out of here.
Yeah,
It
Nag
gets
is
worse and
black
worse,
and
bro.
Jewish.
And look, hey, if someone like Nag don't fuck with you, just accept it. He has to accept that you guys
Oh, yeah,
don't
we
fuck
don't
with
like
him.
him. We don't
Yeah, I
like him
mean,
forever.
it is, like,
But
yeah,
you
it's
both,
like
but it goes
mutual, I
both
guess,
ways.
but-
He don't fuck with you guys either. So just like if you guys are talking shit,
but
let it be.
also, that's a micro.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I agree,
No,
Mr. White. We don't
'cause-
really, like, care.
Because that can be fixed, right? Like,
No, that's a
it's-
personal beef that will never be fixed, bro. I
Well,
hate
look,
that
look,
guy forever.
Look, you guys can fix whatever beefs you want that are micro beefs, but I'm gonna say this, and I'd be remiss if I didn't. You need to thank Greg for actually like holding it down for you guys, and you need to when the time comes. I don't care if it's in the DMs. This is honest. You guys need to fucking apologize to Hoplite. He does so much. You can't be fucking with him like that.
Dude,
not
this
cool.
Can someone put me in touch with TS Creature?
yeah, somebody put me
Oh.
in touch with TS Balloon Held Creature.
Nah, hey, what he's saying is like so for real, though.
Like I want to fuck with you guys, but I'm gonna tell you right now, if it came down to it, and I had to pick the entire crew or Hoplite, like I'm picking Hoplite. Hoplite
Yeah,
is
we
the man,
know.
and I fuck with him.
Right.
Yeah, the whole crew is like, if it was the whole crew or us or Hoplite, we're picking Hoplite, not us.
Yeah, we know.
Like, you guys just gotta hold
Yeah,
it down.
we would like
But
we
y'all
would
gotta
agree.
like, okay, so like, can the new fags stop like moral fagging? Like, what is this, bro?
Well,
Some of
I
them
think that's
can't.
hold on,
Some
hold
of
on,
them can't.
No, that's a separate issue though.
Yeah,
I
yeah, but
think
like,
you guys forgiving and just like agreeing with Hop is a different issue than people saying shit about you, right?
And honestly, that's more important. Like, at the end
Yeah, I
of
don't
the
really
day,
care about the
listen,
new fags say.
there's like
Yeah.
a
Right.
Or like,
But
but
you
like,
guys gotta get
refining,
get
bro.
cool with Hop, dude.
I'll
Like,
troll the new fags
not
with
everybody's
you.
gonna
and
like
right-wing
Reggie
finance
jokes,
are
bro.
new fags, and they left because of all the
Yeah,
infighting.
but you know what?
So
Wait, who?
There's
Yeah, he's just a pussy, bro.
casualties. Right-wing finance and
Who?
call sign. They're new fags.
Yeah,
They're
but
great guys, and
Shabbos,
they left
there's
because of all this
there's
shit.
a level of like history with like all these guys where I'm like, you need to get cool with Hop again.
Yeah, we
all that
understand
other
that,
stuff
like,
is
it's
all that other
important.
stuff is secondary.
100%, I agree.
Yeah, that other shit's peanuts, bro.
Right.
Like,
You have to make nice.
Oh no.
Yeah, who
with
gives a
Hop.
fuck?
Yeah, I don't really
There's
care
like
about
No one
the
fucking
new
cares.
There's like
fags.
1,000 people, in
And
the
I don't blame
community
them for
that,
just
like,
say, like
that have
following
me
Hoplite.
blocked that I've never even interacted with, bro. Who gives? a
Here's the
shit?
thing: I can't
Like,
fuck with people who aren't cool with Hoplite because Hoplite's never done a single thing to me that's even been
He's the
even
goat.
kind of crossed. Like that guy has always been down for me from the moment we first met. Like I'm sorry, like you got to make good with Hoplite and all the.
Hop
Here's the
is
thing:
one of the realest niggas ever.
make
bro.
make good with Hop. Apologize. Do whatever you got to do. I don't care if you have to get on your fucking hands and knees. Just do it, okay? Because then we control all the new fags. It doesn't matter.
Well, last time I made an apology form for Hoplite, I didn't really appreciate it.
Listen.
Yeah,
I don't
bro.
care if you fucking fake it. Just do it.
Well, Mr. White.
Well, that's
Mr. White,
what I'm
no,
referring
hold
to.
on. Look, a guy like Hoplite, right, it's not gonna just take one little fucking form. Like, it's gonna have to be a couple fucking instances where you like stick up or you just kind of lock in, right? If I know, look, I'm not gonna send the closest with Hop, but like I fucking love Hop, and he's always been cool with me. And he is one of these guys that like if you fuck with him, he's not gonna like just forget about it tomorrow. Like it's like he treats this shit like war. Right?
Yeah, well, we
know that. Like we've
Right,
experienced
so
both
that's what
sides
I'm,
of that.
okay, but CBG, you were combative with him today. That's all I'm saying.
Bro, okay, and it comes back to like,
Well,
like,
let's talk
I
about that
can't.
part because that's the most important part. Whatever reason
Okay,
your
so
brain,
like,
for
am I
whatever
supposed
reason,
to just be like,
no,
okay,
you
it's
for whatever
okay
reason
for him
can't
to
just
say
sit here
report
and
me?
go, hey.
It is okay. It
I
should be
just
okay
say,
because you know why
okay,
he's doing it, bro.
I
Come on.
apologize. I don't
No,
understand
He's
what
told
he
you.
shouldn't be doing that.
CB,
Why?
I agree with you. I agree with you on principle, but I'll say this:
Right.
Right.
his reasoning of being like, you're saying I'm doing it as a troll, so fuck it, I'm gonna do it. He's doing it so that this
I
can
wasn't
happen.
saying he was doing it as a troll. I was like asking
All right, let's
him
say
in the
you
chat.
let's say you never said it. Let's say you never said it. Then you shouldn't have any problem just going to the guy and making like,
Right.
I was
you know what I mean?
genuinely asking him in the chat, and then he crashed out. Like he
Just
was being
stop.
sensitive.
Just stop.
But you can't.
You mean to tell
no,
me you guys have never?
You can't sit there
That
and
is
act
true.
like. No, you can't sit there and act like you didn't expect the crash out.
So am I supposed to like say like,
Yes. Yes.
dude, like I said, so are you
No,
telling
whatever
people to
you're about to
report me?
say- no,
And then
whatever-
he's
All right,
like,
all right.
all
Hold
right,
on,
now I'm
Jesse.
telling
Okay,
everybody.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's just kind of funny because you guys also don't know what you're talking about. Like there
Hold
are
on.
other
No, we
there are
do.
other niggas that disagree with you people, and I don't want to speak on that, but like it has to be
You
said.
have-
Like,
you have
That's
to
fine.
understand there's like a majority here that are saying you guys should just
but it's
link
not
up
about
with Hop.
majority. It's about certain people, and you
Well,
guys just
that's
don't know what
retarded.
you're
You know what's
talking
If
you know
it's
what's
not about
interesting?
majority,
Hold on,
that's
Gen Z, stop. Hold on. You're right, UF. It's not about majority. Let me remind everyone. It's about what Nick says, and it flows down from there. And he fucks with Hoplite. Get your shit right with Hoplite.
He also
I-
okay.
No,
Whatever. I
listen
don't
to
even
me,
want to
listen
say
to me,
it's
UF.
not like
UF.
okay.
I'm gonna say one more thing. Like, look, Hoplite does a lot for Nick, and Nick fucks with Hoplite.
I know that. We know that.
Just let it go and make nice. Go apologize if that's what you
Yeah,
have to do.
we're
Just do it.
we're down to
don't
do
even-
that. We're literally trying to do that. I
Good.
mean,
We
We don't
again,
need-
That's
Rome
all
doesn't
we're
need to be
saying,
built
bro.
today,
Then
bro.
look,
Like,
and
we
look,
can just-
mistakes
listen,
get
I think
made.
some progress was made tonight.
Yeah.
Listen, all that really, you don't need to fuck get on your goddamn knees. And, oh, damn, now you got me GD in, bro. Fuck.
You don't need to, but you might have to.
You don't need to get on your knees. I'm saying at this moment and fucking this and that. It's just like, bro, like the first step is just like, all right, we don't need to be fucking coming after somebody who Nick like really appreciates and respects. And I know what you're hinting at, UF, but like, listen, at the end of the day, it's like, okay, this guy has done a lot for Nick in the community, the movement, more than 99% of people. So I think he should have a certain level of respect, more so than some of these people. Bro, I'm not even going to call you out, bro. It's love speech right now. I'm not even going to do it. But anyway.
wait, who? Call me out.
No, not you.
Oh.
No, somebody that's super irrelevant. But anyways, but no.
Oh dang.
The first step is just, bro, okay, like, I think this is good. Communication is key, right? So I think some good communication was had here. I think an olive branch has been extended. It doesn't need to. Everybody's going to become best friends in the next 5 minutes. It's like, all right, look, I think everything's up from both sides been heard. Maybe the first step is just, okay, we're not going to like openly say negative things and troll these people, especially people that have done a lot for the community, etc. And then, maybe eventually, hey, bro, maybe I went a little too far. And then, maybe the other side will be like, hey, I doubled down because you did this. And then eventually you guys are cool. Who knows? Or maybe not, bro. But it doesn't, it's not the end of the fucking world. We're all grown men here. But look, it's just like for the betterment of the community, in the very least, what we could do is, especially, if you want to fucking tell some dude that has been just fucking came around and hasn't done shit for Nick or the community, that is fucking his shit's coal or his shit's cringe or whatever, that's one thing. But like, we shouldn't fucking attack people who have done a lot for the fucking movement. That's all. And that doesn't mean you gotta love them. It's just like, bro, there's certain people in the community, even me, that fucking, I don't necessarily love all the shit they say or do. Maybe they've even attacked me, not in the worst scenario, which is like behind my back. That's the shit I don't respect the most. I actually have said from the beginning, I can respect, at the heat of the beef, shit like what Autismus and some of them were doing more than the people who were like, oh, what's up, Greg? Can you juice this? But in the DMs or in the small group chats, like, yeah, fuck, Greg's such a faggot. Those are like the people I actually have the least amount of respect for. But if some of those people were people that I know are an overall benefit for the movement, I can actually be like, you know what? It's not really worth it. It's not worth creating some sort of beef. And also, like, it just comes back to, this shit is not about me. Like, who gives a fuck? It's not about any of us. And at the end of the day, like, maybe we're not going to be reposting directly some motherfucker within the community we don't fuck with. But like, we saw a perfect example over the past couple of months when there was that whole like schism shit going on. And then you got like, some new, like, brand new guy comes around and he's got to pick a side. It's like, it's fucking retarded, bro. Like, there's people in this space right here that like came around in the last couple of months and they had to like pick a fucking side of the community to hang out with. That doesn't help anything. And if Nick saw that, he would disavow it. So it's just like, bro, it's not about any of us. We don't all got to be best friends. I'm not going to personally ask you to get on your fucking hands and knees and beg any other grown man for forgiveness. I would say that Hobbs done a lot for the movement. So maybe, Mr. White. So maybe, I think he should, even more than, like, I'm not like 100% more than me. I actually think it's more justified to like not fuck with me and to like have an issue with me than Hobbs. Hobbs done more for the community than I have. If you want to like, and I'm not talking about you specifically, but if somebody wants to come for me, I think that's more justified than Hobbs. And to be honest with you, he's actually not super happy with me right now. Like, that's one of my best friends in the community. We fucking talk every day. But to be honest, like, he's not really we're not exactly on the exact same wavelength with all this shit, as you know. So it's like, I don't love having to fucking, not be on the same page as somebody I respect and likes as much as I do with him. But, I'm just personally at a point right now where it's just like, dude, I've been the focal point. And the crazy thing is, like, people now who are new, or they just don't, maybe they're not all tapped into the lore and shit. They think, oh man, that dude Greg, like, he thinks everything's about him. Bro, it's actually, I'm trying to do the exact opposite, bro. I actually want to stop being the fucking focal point of so much of this fucking drama. It's been impossible to avoid the past like 6 months. But, the only thing I can do to like slow that down is to be like, hey, like, I'm not doing any of this beef shit anymore, bro. If you're going to like attack me, it's going to be one-sided. I'm not going to respond. I'm not going to fucking reply. I'm over it. And so I'm getting people in my DMs like, yo, what the fuck? Like, why are you being cool with this other person that I don't fuck with? It's like, bro, because I can't win. If I fucking engage with it, then I'm making everything about me. And I think the world revolves around me. I think I'm fucking Groyper General and fucking everything's about me. If I don't engage with it, then I'm not sticking up for my friends and shit like that. It's like, bro, I just want to like not be a part of the negativity, bro, for once. And like, I get roped into fucking everything. So I think, again, not going to ask anybody to fucking get on their fucking knees and beg any other grown man, let alone on the internet, to be their fucking best friend. But Mr. White, it gets me every time. But what I will just say is, bro, if can we just do the first step, which is like, let's not openly A-log. If you want to openly A-log, do that to like, again, either it doesn't just have to be enemies. You can police like nigga post some fucking Cole, including me or anybody, or like some fucking new fag in one of the new fag group chats says some fucking dumb shit. I was literally in there today, like, bro, shut the fuck up. Holy lark. But like, and I need people to do that. Like, so, you know, I'm all about like that has to happen. And but you know, like someone like Hop, someone like Socks, Clip, First Class, dude, like y'all know, me and First Class, some of these people, we haven't exactly been fucking eye to eye at all times, but there's a certain level of respect that like I'm like, hey, even when we were like not fucking with each other, and I love that Black Queen, but you know, even when we were like, you know, not seeing eye to eye, there's like a certain level of respect where I'm like, hey, he's done a lot for Nick, he's done a lot for the community. I'm not gonna like badmouth him, let alone like publicly, because it like that doesn't help anything. And also it's like it makes it seem like it's like I think this is about me. It's like, bro, if any of y'all is doing some like positive, even like Autismus when we were still like beefing, but he was dropping clips and shit, like people would share his clips in the GC and I wouldn't even fucking say anything. Cause it's like, bro, it's a Nick clip. Like, that's what we're fucking here for, dude. So it's like, what's the fucking point? I don't know, man. And again, there's going to be different levels of this. All that I really ask is like, dude, this shit isn't about any of us. I get there's egos. We're all fucking men. We're not going to want to like say, hey, man, can you like forgive me? And I was so wrong and you're fucking the greatest and I suck. Nobody's asking you to do all that. It's just like, hey, let's lay down our swords or at least pick them up when it's like, all right, like this guy's been around for 2 weeks and he's saying fucking, he's counter signaling Nick. He's saying some LARPy shit or he's posting some fucking Cole. Go, you know, go for it. But like somebody like Hop, somebody like Clips, somebody like Socks, one of these guys who's been around forever, even if y'all fucking are bumping heads or whatever the fuck, like there should be like a different level of, and again, I include myself in that. Come after me before you come after Hop. Come after me before you come after First Class or so. And again, we're cool. Like that's my Black Queen. But like, you know, like even when we were beefing, it would make more sense in my eyes to come after me than like a guy who's been around longer than me, has done more for the community, all this type of shit. It's like, I think we all need to do better, especially everybody in the space. Like the people who've been in here, mostly everybody's been around, has done some shit, has posted some clips, has donated to Nick, has done all these type of things. We should all be like saying, hey, and it sets a precedent. It's like, it's all like, hey, like it focus the energy on people who aren't bringing anything to the fucking to Nick or the community. If all you're doing, if you're brand new and you're already posting some fucking counter signaling bullshit, you're fucking appreciate you Black. You're fucking counter signaling, you're fucking posting like ridiculous Cole. It's like, all right, like that's different. But when a motherfucker's like paid his dues, like maybe at first at least have the conversation in DMs or like a smaller group chat at least or something. But it's like, you know, that's all I would really say. And yeah, in a perfect world, we can squash the shit. I think eventually, like, bro, especially the people who've like been around, have done a bunch of shit, like, you know, bring something to the table. Yeah, it would benefit everybody. If we were already the past couple months as like beef, this whole like schism shit has for the most part ended. Like look at already the shit that's happened, bro. Like on both sides. And I could be like egotistical and be like, oh, like, no, it's been both ways. Like I like there's been people who, you know, we just did not fuck with each other. So we didn't juice each other's shit. We didn't do this or that. Now, like with that being like lifted, I'm seeing benefits. I'm not talking about like followers or any of that. I'm talking about like the fucking morale and shit like that. So it's like, bro, like I think that should be the point. You know, it's like, dude, it's just not everybody's gonna be fucking best friends, bro. But we can coexist for the betterment of the community, for Nick, whatever. And that's all I would really ask. You know, I don't think that's asking like a crazy amount, bro. It's just like we shouldn't be like attacking people who bring like serious positive energy or whatever it may be. Like if you're like one of the best like clippers, editors, or even if you're not even one of the best, but you're like posting some decent shit and it's on message, even if the fucking edits are kind of not the best, it's one thing if it's like straight ass, but if a motherfucker's like on message, then I don't A-log. It's only really when it's like the shit is like straight up something that Nick would not want posted. Okay, that's different. But and you know, that's all I'll really say about that, bro. You know, I think the first step is really just having a conversation. So, you know, definitely appreciate everybody who's said something. I tried to like give the mic to most people. And you know, I think that's a step in the right direction. I'm not expecting grown men to just fall on their knees and be like, it was all me, bro, and you're the fucking greatest and I suck. It's like we're all grown men and have the fucking luxury of being behind a fucking screen. So it's like, bro, this shit isn't going to happen overnight. But, you know, hey, I'll tell you, it does feel good, okay, to just sometimes let some of that dumb shit go. It's fun sometimes. We all like to do some trolling. I even said we shouldn't be moral fagging on like jokes and like, you know, dumb shit. Again, I see jokes on the TL all the time that like I'm like, not for me. Like maybe it's like too crazy or it's just not my fucking sense of humor. But you know, I don't think we need to get into the business of policing jokes unless they're seriously like crazy. There's been a couple times where it's like niggas have actually been like excommunicated for going like way too far, like very bordering like illegal fucking, you know, you're like doing some crazy shit. But barring something like that, it's like, all right, like, you know, you can just scroll by or maybe even unfollow. You don't need to be like, you know, trying to get a nigga like banned over some shit that you just don't think's funny. That would be my take on that. Okay, I'm done yapping.
Thank Greg the Groiper and go forgive Hoplite for yourself, not for anyone else. And, you know, if you feel like for your own reasons, not because I said it or Greg said not to, but if you feel like for your own reasons, you should get on your hands and knees, you know, like just follow your heart. But jokes aside, hey, look, think of the things that Nick has done, okay, and dealt with. Just stop with the petty girl drama. It's fucking pathetic. Like, go figure it out. Everyone, only the people involved know what they've done or didn't do. Like, go fucking sort it out. Please go fucking make it not a fucking headache all the time. Because someone like Greg does a lot. He doesn't need to fucking deal with a headache 24/7.
So, Twill. What's up, Bongo? Who's this Cody guy? Yeah, seriously, bro. So, Twill. I disavow him.
Mr. White, could I get the unblock?
Hey, guess what, UF? Go check. You've been unblocked for over an hour.
Holy moly. Let's go.
Unity. I love it.
Yeah, and Mia and no apologies. Just made up. So that's good.
Either or is chill.
Yeah, it was low key made out, but
wow.
I didn't want to offend anyone in the listeners.
And I also buried the hatchet with Torta.
Love speech.
Dude, there are hatchets going to be buried all over this fucking country tonight.
Love one. Yo, honestly, I was getting so many comments when in the stream when I started this. They're like, it was like so much sarcasm. Like, oh yeah, fucking Unity, sure, bro. But honestly, love one.
Dude, we won.
I'm just gonna say, Groiper Unity first space. There was no Mr. White. I'm here off of a weekend at the lake, water skiing, and I'm just feeling like I'm feeling the love.
Hell yeah.
W love.
Dude,
we say one good and bad thing about everyone now.
Can a nigga get a horn beep, please?
True.
Oh yeah, I haven't done this in like 2 months, guys.
Thank you. Anyway,
yo, why does it hit different when UF does it though? Like when somebody else does it, it's like I don't know, it doesn't sound the same.
Dude, it's been like 2 months since I've done that. It's like like I had chills.
Yo, Gung Ho, appreciate you, bro.
Yo, we got love in here.
Kick chat. Yeah, so much love.
Hi, Super Bob.
What do you guys put the over under before we see a Unity Groiper second attempt?
Tomorrow.
Third attempt.
Now we're all good. We just got to get Hop, right? That's
No, look,
True.
it's I'm gonna
No,
say
Hop
wait,
doesn't. I don't think
hold
Hop
on.
should make an appearance. I think that
Hold
should
on,
be
let
private.
me say something that I'm gonna do my Mr. White thing. Look, don't go forgive people expecting them to do anything. Forgiveness is a personal thing. Just do it to be done with it and move on. That message goes to everyone, but don't expect anyone to fuck with you. You know what I mean? It's all unity and love. But like, this is the truth. A lot of people might not fuck with each other. We're a giant group of men, right? Who half of us don't fucking know each other, so you don't have to worry about getting punched in the fucking face. We're a bunch of men who give each other shit. It's like that's a thing, but that not everyone has to fuck with you. He might never fuck with you. I can't speak for him.
Yeah,
but you should forgive to
Oh,
forgive, and you should do
but
the right thing for the right thing. You know what I mean?
that's okay.
Love
Yeah.
will win.
Yeah, to be like nuanced about it, I don't really blame like out of everybody, you know, I don't really blame Hoplite for being angry about it. Like, you know, I think that there's some righteousness to be had there, but people like UF and CBG, like, you know, to perceive them as like useless to the community, I think is a bit flawed too. You know, even if they do make jokes on our behalf and stuff like that, and I think to some extent it's good that we all have some like self-reflection and somebody to sort of, I don't know, always lighten the mood. And it's like, you know, when you listen to a Little Pump album, you're not like expecting Kendrick Lamar, you know? It's like I don't go to UF
Wow.
Groiper's page because I want to hear like some like biblical commentary, you know? They make me laugh, and I think that that's like their purpose in the movement, and I think that that's like a righteous purpose to have, you know? It's like if you want to get on here and make people laugh and like make fun of people, dude, as far as I'm concerned, as long as it's funny and as long as it's not like, you know, just lies or egregious, you know, anger behind it, then I think that you know there is purpose in that.
Look, that's fine. That's
listen,
fine.
I'm
People might not
productive.
fuck with it, but I'm
despite
fine
what
with it.
others might say, I'm productive.
Look, and I think that hey, you know what? To be honest, I can't abide people that I really rock with on like a day-to-day level, and the chaos with like that was ensuing. So I always have to back. You know, loyalty is a thing. I always have to back people. You know what I mean? And I think everyone
For sure,
understands that.
I can understand why
That's
Hop
part
is
of a male.
mad.
That's part of a male space as well. It's like, but I'm loyal to certain people more than others. It just is what it is. But I also think what you said is totally true. And I'll also say this. There are roles that everyone fills. And hey, I love a laugh. I love a troll. I think it's fucking dude. Like I said, I think that this crew that we're talking about, like, if you want to learn the first rule of the internet, spend 5 fucking minutes in a GC or hanging around with these guys. Like, they will get you on your heels if you're not. if you don't get what you're doing,
bro.
And I'm fine with that.
Like,
and I'm fine
we gotta
with
harden
that,
up. Like, we're supposed to be the tough guys on the internet.
And
you
look,
know?
and I'm fine with that. But I also know this: part of this movement that's very serious is being, you know, there's an engine behind it, and part of that engine, Hoplite's part of that engine. You know what I mean? And
Totally.
I don't.
He's a big part of it.
And I don't fucking stand for, like, if someone was giving Greg a ton of shit too, and I felt the need to speak up, I would do it. I just like rock with certain guys more than others.
I've gotten kicked out of group chats standing up for Greg.
It is, you know what I mean? Like
yeah, standing up.
But having said that, don't expect anyone to rock with you after. Don't expect anyone to be your friend. But you should go and do that shit anyways. You know, if there's no reason not to.
No, I said, you know, I can understand why Hoplite's mad. I don't know if he'll ever get over it or if he ever should. And I love Hoplite to death too, and he's a good buddy of mine. But you know, just to be nuanced about it, because I'm, you know, I really like UF and CBG and all them guys too. They make me fucking laugh my ass off. So I don't know, you know, love speech, dude. I think it can be simplified by that.
I love everyone.
I have it on good authority. I'm hearing that a Hoplite apology form was signed by the UF.
Dude, you gotta look at it. It's the funniest apology form of all time.
That form has been used like 8 times, I think.
Tweedledee, appreciate the follow. I mean, W loves speech. Listen, I said at the beginning of this space, we weren't ending it until everybody in the entire community was best friends, and I think that
honestly, Greg for this. Greg's one of the only guys in this that could do something like this and
unironically.
So real, 100% real right
post
there.
Ironically, yes. Like
W Greg, bro.
Yeah, it's post irony.
Yo, W
don't post
Greg.
irony.
Greg, you did it. It only took you the second try.
Yeah, last night was not wasn't exactly.
I wasn't in the space last night.
I
so,
drove home over 100 miles an hour because I just knew I had to get back home to my gear. And you know what? I got pulled over going over 100 in a 65, and luckily the motorcycle cop was a ginger, and he took one look at me and he was like, "This guy's wider than me," and he let me go with a warning and said the most badass thing ever. He said, "Can you at least go near the speed limit for the rest of the way home?" And I was like, "Bro, I'll do the speed limit." Dude, he could have put me in jail so bad. I was going way too fucking fast.
Bro was looking for this.
But we made it. Here we are. Here we are. We made it. W. Greg.
Yeah, seriously, W. Greg. Greg is the only guy that could have done something like this because Greg's gotten more shit than anybody on maybe planet Earth. And if you can't respect Greg for like still sticking around, dude, if somebody doxed me and did some of the shit they were doing to Greg, you guys would have never fucking heard from me ever again. So, W. Greg, man, strong guy right there.
Super Bob, I would never dox you.
I'm not fucking leaving.
I'm kind of already doxed. I don't really care.
The gang rape of the last 6 months. Dude,
well, that's why.
I think people know at this point you're stuck with me, okay?
Yeah. That's honestly, that's like the moment where I was like, you know what, dude, this Greg guy, man, he's a real one.
John Dave Irving in space.
JDI, big dog.
He's down here like, yeah, fuck all this. I'm collecting IPs right now.
Can we say one good and bad thing about each other now?
Yeah, you go first.
Okay. Greg, I love how like cuddly you seem, and I don't like. Okay, that's too mean. I can't. I think Greg gets like the bad omitted. I'm gonna skip Ox Shabbos. I like your profile picture. I don't like how you seem kind of like retarded. Nag, I like your voice, and I don't like how. Okay, no, I can't. I don't have the heart for this. I don't
Greg,
hate people.
I like how you have a slight hint of Down syndrome.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
It's one of my most endearing qualities.
And I like how you counter signal my creation Hoplite. And I like that a lot, you piece of fucking shit.
Bloom creature?
Wait, is he talking to me?
No, he was giving his good and bad things that he loves about me.
Okay, good. Gen Z, I like your voice, and okay, I just can't do the bad thing. It's like it's too hard. I'm not a
dude.
Bad
That's
person.
because UF guys full of love, bro.
Yeah. Well, Super Bob is pretty easy. Super
Greg,
Bob, I like how you
wiener.
Super Bob, I like how you go on like
floppy.
You write essays on the timeline that nobody reads, but helps us. And I don't like how you call me a creature.
Dude, that is you though. But that creature is you.
All right, Mr. White, I like how you're so like you're so theistic and argumentative. I don't like how you're so argumentative. It it's long-winded.
Yes, creature.
I like your brevity, UF, and
thanks.
I dislike your brevity.
It's fair enough. See, I like the honesty from everyone.
It might be a bit of jealousy.
Maybe.
I think it's Autismus' turn.
Where did CBG go?
Oh, Autismus. Oh,
come on up. Say 5 things you like about Greg and what? No.
5 things I like about Greg.
All right, dude. 3. Come on.
Man. Oh shit. Okay.
He's just trying to narrow it down to like only 5.
I was okay. Can I do? I was gonna do CBG.
Do it. I'll forward it to him.
I was gonna say, CBG. I got your account banned like 3 times. Because you annoyed me,
dude. That's rule 1. What are you doing?
Also, you followed me after that, so that was pretty cool.
Okay. I'll let him know.
Thanks.
Yeah.
TS message will be delivered.
To TS creature block emoji. All right. Anyone else want to go?
All right. 3 things, Autismus. 3 things.
3 things about who?
Who do you think?
Oh,
TS
gosh.
creature.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
Well, I like that Greg brought me up on this space. I like that Greg brought me up on the space that I joined before all of this happened. And I like that Greg did this space to kind of bridge the divide.
TS love speed.
As Greg's top sub, I will forward him that message.
And then, Greg, one thing you hate about Autismus, I think was 3 to 1.
3 things, Greg. 3 things you hate about me. 1 thing that you like about me.
I couldn't come up with anything that I hate about you.
That's
I can
bullshit.
do like 10 things.
That's fucking dude. Everybody fucking hates me. This is the easiest one.
No.
Wait, who are you?
Shut the fuck up.
No, it's TS. I like that. I like that meme where it's the Graper like looking straight forward. Like I definitely saved that off your account. Yeah, I stole that from you, so I really like that you post that one.
Nobody can say anything bad about me because, like, A, I'm perfect. Then B, it's like, what the fuck do I care about some common peasant freak? What do they have to think, you know?
So true, JD. Greg, go on.
And then, I really like your beard and that character that you play.
Thanks. That's me, by the way.
I never actually, for the record, thought that one guy was you. I don't know where that came from, but but I do like that character.
Do you think? Hey, but real talk. Do you think that Snappy is me? Do you think that is actually me?
No, that's a totally real girl.
All right. Okay. Good. All right. Good. All right.
No,
fair. All right. Cool.
BTZZZ.
Yeah.
No, she's a cutie. Totally real.
Snappy is real. We've been DMing for like a week.
Yeah, I know.
You didn't send hog.
Soon.
What's up, though, RuneScape? How you doing, bro?
If that was true, you'd be threatening me with my dick pics more.
That is true. He's got me there.
Love speech. Love speech. Only, guys.
Love one.
We're only doing love speech.
I love the olive branch.
Oh, Myron. Is that Myron Gaines? No, it's not. Never mind.
I like that John Dave Irving is a dog.
Holy shit, it is Myron Gaines.
Is that that's
no way?
Myron Gaines had me blocked forever. Myron, forgive me today. You had me blocked for no reason. Forgive me today. He unblocked me though like a legend. Just randomly got unblocked one day.
Yo, Myron, I loved you at UF. It was great.
Sure.
Why won't
UF
I tried to give him the mic, but
UF
it's like
mentioned.
connecting.
No, he's up here. He's up here.
Hey,
Myron, say 3 things you like about Greg the Groiper right now.
Sure.
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, I did watch your live coverage of the court case today, so
Oh, appreciate that, brother.
What's one thing?
Thank you. It was an interesting hearing. I'll just say that. So it was definitely interesting.
Hey,
what's your take on it?
Wait, Myron, can I ask you a specific question about it? Because I was wondering what this means. Why did the defense not want the evidence played on the projector? Like, wouldn't you think that the prosecution would not want that as to not sway the jury? Why did the defense not want that?
Well, there's no jury. It's a preliminary hearing. So all they're trying to do is establish probable cause. But obviously, since the evidence against Tyler Robinson was so voluminous, it took them 10 months to finally do a preliminary hearing. Like, this guy hasn't even been indicted yet, guys. So Utah's definitely dragging their feet here. And the defense attorney was basically trying to object to everything. And I think the other reason she was complaining about stuff being put on the screen is because she was saying it's unduly suggestive. It's all a bunch of legal bullshit mumbo jumbo that lawyers use to sound cool. But it's a preliminary hearing, man. This is totally overkill for something so minuscule because we're trying to just establish probable cause here.
Yeah, it's insane the freak out from it today.
Yeah, just to give everyone here kind of a perspective of how ridiculous this is. I'm not sure if everyone here is familiar with my past, but I used to work for Homeland Security Investigations as an agent, and I've testified literally hundreds of times in different cases. I did a lot of Mexican cartel, drug trafficking, human smuggling, weapons.
Yeah, we're literally all feds here, okay? You can move on.
Yeah, well, at least I'm honest about it. But the reason why I'm telling y'all that, you know,
W.
yeah, you know, it's worse when they don't tell you, right? So,
You're like Ian Carroll.
well, uh, anyway, so when I used to do my stuff, right? When I used to, you know, say I arrest somebody and, you know, we bring them in front of the judge and, you know, you file the criminal complaint, whatever, the defense normally has the opportunity to do a preliminary hearing to establish probable cause. Now, most cases, they dismiss this hearing because it's a waste of time. So when I saw that the state of the state of Utah and Tyler Robinson's defense wanted to do a preliminary hearing, I was like, oh, this is strange. Then I saw that it was going to go for 5 days, dude. The times that I went to preliminary hearings, I hit the stand. I was probably there for like no more than an hour, right? Because like since it's probable cause, you can use hearsay, you can use what other agents told you or what you observed while you were doing the investigation. So the fact that they're kind of like saying, "Oh, well, this needs to be authenticated. Oh, this is unduly suggestive," in a fucking PC hearing is nuts.
Yeah, she was just objecting to like every single thing that they brought
Well,
forward.
well, the defense will always object to everything they bring forward for the record. It's like kind of like a procedural thing, so that they can have them later if it goes to trial. Because this isn't a trial; it's a pre-trial, I guess at best. But like what Myron was saying, the state brings forth evidence that brings enough probable cause that they can bring actual charges and then draw a jury and get a court date. But to his point, you usually only have to present like minimum. It's a minimum thing. You're not trying to convict yet. You're just trying to bring charges. So you don't need to present everything.
Yeah, like when I was on the job, like all you really need for most preliminary hearings is the case agent or the co-case agent or someone you know that's somewhat familiar with the case because the standard is so low. But this is what I think the strategy is here by the team, and this is where I put my tinfoil hat on. My prediction is the defense purposely requested this preliminary hearing, did a whole bunch of studying of all the information that came in, prepared for 10 months. And what they're trying to do right now is almost treat this as a mini trial so they can see what the prosecution has and what they plan to bring out during the trial. So for them, they're collecting information to see what the strategy is going to be. And this kind of puts the prosecution on their back foot. And the reason why is because the prosecution has to thread a very tight line and realize, like, okay, we obviously want to get probable cause because this is a huge case. We don't want to get embarrassed. But at the same time, we don't want to reveal our hand too much where the defense can make an entire strategy and debunk us when it's time for trial. So this is kind of the dance, the dancing with the devil situation that's going on with this preliminary hearing in this case.
Myron, do you think that there's any chance in hell that he pleads not guilty?
What do you mean? Like he pleads not guilty or he goes to trial?
No, that he goes to trial and pleads not guilty. Like he
Oh,
is
okay, I
trying
got
to
you.
say that he didn't do it.
Yeah. So taking it all the way to trial. There's a good chance he might take it to trial because he's probably, to be honest with you guys, if he gets convicted, he's definitely going to get the firing squad. Like Utah just brought back the firing squad, so and that's why his attorneys were trying to file to like kind of take the death penalty off the table. So I think that might be the move, and that's what a lot of criminals do when they're facing the death penalty. They'll typically plead guilty to avoid it. But this guy, he might say, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna go all the way," because he didn't give a comment to the police, or sorry, he didn't give an interview to the police. So he still has that bargaining chip to come clean, maybe get not the death penalty, but just life instead.
Damn.
What do you think?
Does that make sense, guys? I throw a lot out there.
Yeah, that makes sense. Myron, this is when you're at your best, bro. When you talk about this shit, dude, this is like you at your best. I've listened to a lot of your content about this in particular.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel you're definitely one of the more like honest people when it comes to this. Do you think that it was a W or an L today for the conspiracy theorists in regards to this whole situation?
This is what I'll say. I want to finish watching the investigator that's on the stand right now. I want to finish watching him on cross-examination because that's where the rubber really meets the road. It's like it's not tough when your prosecutor's asking you questions on direct. The real fireworks come when the defense starts grilling the case agent, which in this case is going to be very interesting to see. But once I see her cross-examine the main case agent, then I'll have a way better opinion. And the reason why I haven't really talked too much about this case when it comes to conspiracy theories or the official narrative is like, I was like, dude, this is a lose-lose situation. I think it's best to just wait and see what went down and see what evidence they got. I'm just gonna reserve
I
my
think it
opinion.
was Israel.
What was that?
I think it was Israel.
Hey, you're definitely trolling, but but yeah, I'm the type of guy when it comes to cases like this, really high profile. I think the best move is to kind of just watch and look at the evidence and see what comes out.
Yeah, I think that's totally fair.
Yeah, just because the background I come from, you know what I mean? It's like when you work in law enforcement, you kind of already know how things work. You know what the really damaging evidence is going to be. You know what the defense is going to kind of do. So it'll give me a lot more insight as to what went down. But apparently, I heard that the prosecution has a video of him climbing up there and actually taking a shot.
I got that from a pretty big source today for the news
Okay.
site that I run, and I think that is true, that
Okay.
the prosecution does have a video of him arriving on campus, entering the building, climbing the roof, and pulling the trigger.
Okay. Yeah, I heard that
Yeah.
too. I heard that too. It's kind of like in the rumor mill, but you just confirmed it for me because a couple people told me the prosecution has that. Which again, that's probably their ace in the hole that they might not want to reveal right now.
Yeah, I would love to see how
That's
how X is
crazy.
gonna feel.
Yeah, I mean, the only way that can be
Whoa.
spun is by, doing the whole freeze frame zoom in thing and say, like, oh, well, this guy has an eighth of an inch larger nose than what they're saying Tyler Robinson has. If they have that, then there's no way that he would plead not guilty if they have a video of him practically doing everything that he did that day,
Jeez.
Yeah, so this is what it is, and I'm just kind of putting my hat back on here with the prosecutor's mindset. If you guys remember, when this case first happened, the FBI were the ones that showed the footage of him running across the roof, right? And I always thought to myself, I was like, wait, so you guys got this guy running across the roof, but you guys don't have him when he's taking a shot? And then I'm like, oh, they might have this footage because I've been hearing this rumor. And I was like, okay, they're purposely withholding that because once again, it's only probable cause, guys. You don't need to reveal all the facts and circumstances you have at your disposal. But the fact that that's kind of getting leaked right now leads me to believe they probably were sitting on it for a while and they purposely didn't want to release that piece of evidence to save it for later.
Yeah.
No, I mean that makes sense.
Yeah, that's gonna really blow a hole in the sort of people that think that this is something other than Tyler Robinson pulling the trigger or a gun at all, for that matter.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Also, like the other reason why this preliminary hearing took so long, and it's kind of going, because this is a very unorthodox prelim, is because the prosecution, I'm sure, has had a fucking headache with all the alternative theories going out there. And if you got all these other theories out there, famous people with big podcasts saying Tyler Robinson wasn't a shooter, well, that does have to work for the defense because now the defense can say, well, there's a reasonable doubt that my guy isn't the shooter. So I think the prosecution is tackling a lot of things going on, especially when it comes to the media.
And Myron, I don't mean to. I don't want to get you involved in any situation you don't want to be involved in. But Candace has made multiple references that make me think that she has been in contact with Tyler Robinson's defense team as well. So I really wonder, like, what details of her perspective on things they're actually going to utilize to try to, gain leverage or maybe even plead not guilty.
So wait, so it's confirmed that she's spoken with his defense team?
It's not confirmed. There's been a few things that she's posted before where it all but indicates that, like, definitively,
Well, we'll see. We'll see definitely, like, over the next couple of days, how much they have, because the defense attorney only cross-examined, only one witness went today. Sorry, two. The police officer from the campus that kind of had a working knowledge of the entire, location as well as the different buildings. And he was there when it happened. And he knows how the surveillance footage works. And then the second witness is the SBI case agent that runs it, which the SBI is basically the functional equivalent.
It was
of
the guy that found the screwdriver too, right? I think he was.
That was one of them that got interviewed today.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the number one guy. Now, I don't know if he was the first one to see the screwdriver, but he definitely was, like, on the scene. And I think the reason why the prosecution picked him is because if you guys listen to his testimony, he knew the campus like the back of his hand. Like, he was super fucking thorough on the campus. So I think between that, understanding the video, and then him being there when it all went down, that's probably why they brought him in.
Yeah, and I think he was like a more senior officer out of the ones that were on the
Oh,
scene,
yeah,
right?
he's been on for like 20 years, and that's why he's so important, because the SBI guy, even though he's the lead case agent, he doesn't know the campus like the back of his hand. He even admitted on the stand today, like, I never I barely go down there to go to the university. I've only been there a few times. So obviously the prosecution had to lean really heavily upon the testimony of the campus police officers to establish, the framework of where this crime took place.
Myron, for the people that don't know, I guess, or you probably have a better idea than all of us, like how long should we expect before there's like a conclusion to all this?
It's just a prelim, so I'd be shocked if they actually took off 5 days. But obviously, given the nature of this case and how much coverage it's getting, they're both of them are gonna fight pretty hard. And I saw it today where the defense attorney was objecting to like everything, dude. She literally was objecting to shit like, "Oh, this person told me X, Y, Z," and she's like, "Oh, objection, hearsay. That evidence, that witness isn't here for cross examination." And then I don't know if y'all picked up on this. The prosecutor explained it one time why that's bullshit, and then every time after that, he just said, I have the same argument, Judge. Okay, I have the same argument, Judge. So she
I did see
kept doing
that.
the same shit.
Yeah, just throwing shit at the wall, see what sticks. But
Yeah. If it was a trial, she'd be valid. But for a preliminary hearing, it's like, what, dude? Like hearsay is 100% admissible for PC.
Yeah, I just wonder, like, if this kid has even a 1% chance of being not guilty, like, why has his family not spoken out in behalf of him and said that he's not guilty? And for that matter, a lot of the conspiracy theorist podcasters that have been on this have also not come out and said that he should be, acquitted definitively. I think Candace might have been the only one,
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, like, there's been just so many fucking theories, dude. I've like lost track of it because like once I started seeing like the conspiracy, realm opening up on this topic, I was like, dude, I'm just gonna focus on other shit, man.
Yeah, it's a mess.
Yeah,
It's a mess,
dude.
and they really worked backwards to try to prove their own theories wrong because a lot of these people said that it was a conspiracy theory less than an hour after it happened. So those are like people to me that like I can't trust. And anything you bring forward from that point, you came to a conclusion and now you're like working backwards to try to prove that conclusion. And that's just like not how conclusions work at all,
Yeah, and
it's not honest.
And that's precisely why, like someone asked me earlier, hey, what's your thoughts on this? I was like, hey, I'm gonna just reserve judgment until I see everything because you never know until you see all the evidence, right? Like I'll give you guys a perfect example. Obviously, you guys are all familiar with P. Diddy. I'm sure some of you guys were not not around when he was making his music. But the long story short, Diddy.
I'll look him up, Unc.
Okay, go for it. But he was the CEO of Apple.
No, like I like.
No, we're good.
Myron makes a good point, and also for people who've never seen a preliminary hearing, also to Myron's point, it's not a trial. It doesn't operate the same way as a trial. An attorney who tries to object to all these things, like this woman did today, in an actual trial, might have to like come to the bench and get a talking to. But in a prelim,
well, if they have the witness, she's good. Like
yes, if they're examining the witness, right?
Yeah. So yeah.
But in a prelim, what I understand, at least from my limited knowledge, in a prelim, you should, as the defense attorney, object to every single piece of evidence brought forth, at the very least, to protect the record, so that they can never say, "Well, we presented this piece of evidence and they never objected to it at all." They admit they say this, he was here on the building, or that was his screwdriver. So you object to everything on record, so that sense. When you get to the trial, you can then have the record is protected from you have to defend every single accusation in a prelim.
No, for sure. But like, it's very unorthodox because the thing with the prelim is like, you already know more than likely when you read the, reports and everything else like that they have probable cause. So like, most attorneys, defense attorneys, they waive prelim, but
totally. And usually they do because then they don't have to, again, do this bullshit procedural thing. But you would agree with me, Myron. I mean, like, I think a lot of people miss that, especially high profile cases. It's so procedural. I mean, all of them are, because if you make one mistake, they're going to get him an appeal off of the tiniest minute mistake in procedure.
Okay. So someone asked, hey, why didn't you, what do you think? And I was like, hey, I'm going to wait for all the evidence. The reason why I say that, guys, I'm going to give you an example now. So Diddy, right? Famous rap star, legend back in the 90s and the 2000s. As you guys know, he got indicted a couple years ago for human trafficking, right? So I went to the trial and actually listened to the testimony of the main witness, Cassie, and other girls that testified against him. And what ended up happening was the defense was fantastic. They basically were able to show that the girls, it was all consensual sex. These girls were, all had personal lawsuits against him, and they were basically able to establish it was consensual. There was no human trafficking involved, and all they were able to convict Diddy of was interstate transportation of prostitutes, because he had a scheme where he'd fly these male prostitutes in to fuck his girlfriend so he could watch. I know it's weird as fuck, but the point is that he's not a sex trafficker. He's just a degenerate gay pervert. So this is why it's so important to kind of reserve your take until you see all the evidence. Because I remember for the Diddy case, I was like, oh, this dude is doing freak offs. He's having parties and orgies with minors. But when the government presented their case, none of that shit came up. So that's why I'm always very reluctant to give my take until I look at all the evidence, because the media lies and says whatever to kind of sensationalize things and build hype.
Yeah, no, I mean, we'll have to. That's why I've kind of did the same thing as you said. Once all the crazy conspiracy started coming out, I'm just like, I'm gonna sit back and just kind of let this play out. I mean, as of it seems like there's a bit of evidence to show that it was.
So let me tell you this.
Oh, go ahead.
So, as you guys know, like the conspiracy theorists, one of the biggest pieces of evidence is the 30-06 controversy, right? Which is how he got shot with a 30-06 with a small wound, versus like if you shoot a fucking animal because it's a hunting rifle, like you blow the guts out, right? So they're like, this doesn't make sense. So
bro's fucking chest exploded like a sliced bag of wine, and they're like small wound. I mean, I think that the 30-06 thing is ridiculous, but I will also say a lot of the conspiracy theorists, a lot of the conspiracy theorists say, oh, but they don't have evidence for this or that. They're holding it until the trial, and we're gonna get to see it. And it's gonna be. I have a feeling it's gonna be damning. I thought I heard today that he literally walked up some steps to get to the roof. He didn't even climb up a building.
Yeah, there was an open walkway to the roof.
That was all shown. That was all shown on day, like when they on day one they had
just walking up and taking a shot.
But here's about the 30-06 though.
Here's who's gonna. I'm gonna tell you guys right now who's gonna present probably the most important testimony, right? When it comes to the alternate theories, as you guys know, the 30-06 is the thing that's in question, right? So I think a couple months back, the ATF released a report saying that they could not positively conclude if the round that was in Charlie had come from that rifle. And obviously Daily Mail and a bunch of other places were saying, oh, look, see, they can't even conclusively conclude that the bullet was shot from that gun, blah, blah, blah. So what I want to see is, more than likely, I think they're going to probably bring in the ATF agent that did that report. That's going to be what we need to look at if they do it in a preliminary hearing, because he's going to be the guy that's going to have to explain, number one, why the wound ended up that way, and he's going to have to explain how the bullet that was found in Charlie is connected to the rifle. So that's going to be important testimony when it comes to the whole 30-06 controversy.
And Myron, as far as I know about this, I read a little bit about that, because that was certainly a confusing report for me to read as well. Is it not true that when a bullet is damaged at all, over 70% of the time it's deemed inconclusive to the rifle that it came from?
So it depends, man, because it varies so much based on rifle, ammunition type of firearm. Do you keep your gun clean? Like, there's so many different variables that come into it. But what I will say is, so I'm going to go through this real quick because I'm sure there's people here that might not be gun nuts. So homicide detectives, right? One of the things they do to match a gun to ammunition is they look at the spent casings and look at like how it's the grooves and stuff like that. And the reason for that is because every time a bullet, right, goes through the barrel of a gun, it creates a unique signature that's basically a fingerprint. That's how they're able to tie them both together. Now, in this situation, apparently the shell casing was so damaged that they can't conclusively say it came from that gun. And that's kind of what the holdup is here. But for the most part, it depends on the gun as far as like how certain you'll be if you match up the gun with the spent casing.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a huge part of the case. I mean, it does seem like they have some evidence that that's going to be big that they're holding back, but I mean, that would be
the ATF agent's testimony, if they bring him in, that's gonna be the one to watch for the 30-06 controversy. I don't know if they'll bring him on the preliminary hearing, but if the prosecution starts to feel a little worried, they'll probably bring him in.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see who all they call in general. I mean, we've only seen a little taste so far.
Yeah,
and I think it was everybody expected it to be, officers for the most part to start.
Well, for one, they're definitely going to bring in all those people that like signed those affidavits. Like when they gave the law enforcement the videos, all of them are going to have to testify at trial, for sure.
Do you think that Tyler will testify or be cross-examined at all?
No way. No,
that would be insane, dude.
That would be fucking suicide if he took the stand, dude.
Yeah, right. Because he's probably a fucking idiot.
Bro,
Like
that would be dumber than what Ted Bundy did when he represented himself for all those fucking serial killings, dude, in the 80s or whatever, 70s. Yeah, like the only time it makes sense for a defendant to take the stand is if it's a self-defense case, right? So like you guys remember the famous Kyle Rittenhouse testimony where he was crying on the stand, blah, 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 right? The reason why it's so important to put your defendant on when it's self-defense is because only the defendant can be the one to articulate exactly what was going through their mind as they pulled the trigger and used lethal force. And the other big thing people need to understand is that you're never judged on 20/20 hindsight when you fire your gun. You're judged on what you knew at the time and did your actions constitute as being reasonable. And in Rittenhouse's situation, he's on the floor. Multiple guys are coming up to him, screaming things like, "We're going to kill you," blah, blah, blah. He'd already just gotten in an altercation with some, Jewish pedophile. And now these guys are closing in on him as he's on the floor. So he pulls out his AR, sees the dude coming at him with a skateboard, shoots him, and then he shoots another guy. And that was self-defense because if any of us, I would assume, were on the ground like that, being chased by crazy liberal mobsters in Kenosha, we'd fire our guns too. And that's why he was able to get acquitted. And him crying on the stand, as much as people like make fun of it, that's actually to his benefit because it illustrates that he was truly scared for his life when he pulled the trigger.
And he got him too. He fucking got two of them. That's crazy.
And he got acquitted. So that's the power of putting your defendant on the stand. But it only works in self-defense cases. Like I've not really seen it work anywhere else.
It would be suicidal to put Tyler Robinson on the stand. The guy already looks dysgenic, and the things he's accused of with the evidence that'll be presented to a jury, if they went to a jury trial, he would be dead in the water before he even took the oath.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
If he took the stand, dude, they would fucking cook him. They'd be like, "Oh, so I hear you're a faggot. What's your gay boyfriend?" They're gonna just roast him.
I don't know how much weight this holds, but I believe it was the Daily Mail that reported it today that apparently he was laughing while within feet of Erica Kirk today.
I don't think that was today. I think that was months ago when they.
No, it was a second report of him doing the same thing again today.
Oh, because I remember when he laughed the first time. So he laughed again today?
Yeah, yes.
Oh, yeah, he's cooked, bro. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know how much weight that holds.
It was a little overblown, but
Yeah, because what if if you just crack a smile? Like I don't really know if that makes you like.
The reason why that's bad, I'll tell you guys right now. If Tyler decides to go to trial, for example, right? You know what they're gonna do? They're gonna get and he loses. They're gonna get victim impact statements.
Yeah.
The number one person that's gonna go up there is gonna be Erica fucking Kirk. Guess what she's gonna say? I had to sit behind this monster as he laughed when my husband was dead. Done.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Done. Firing squad incoming. No one else needs to fucking take the stand at that point for victim statements.
Yeah, I remember the Jeffrey Dahmer impact statements. I've watched a few of those. That really fucking cooked him forever.
Yeah.
That got him the death penalty.
Yeah. That's really where that's where you get anytime you're facing a case like that, before the family comes up and gives their statements, you pretty much got life guaranteed. But if the victim impact statements are able to move the jury, they'll just vote to get you killed or executed.
Damn, that's got to be so hard to not be able to crack a smile for however long a trial takes. Like, what if a nigga cracks a funny joke?
Yeah. No, he's in a bad
That's
spot.
probably what happened.
Dude, I've laughed in pretty fucked up situations before. You know what I mean?
It's like a nervous thing that some people.
Yeah,
And the judge,
definitely.
Right? So let's say Erica gets on the stand and she starts crying. She says, "This dude laughed when I lost my husband." Blah blah blah. The judge can take that into account and say, "Okay, you didn't show any remorse. Firing squad, fuck you." He can use that to really fuck him based on how.
There was a video of the
Go ahead.
judge today watching apparently a different angle of Charlie getting killed that hasn't not yet been released, and you saw him literally like jump, like he got visibly startled by whatever video, whatever angle he was watching. So I mean, he's certainly like already impacted by it,
Oh yeah,
firsthand.
there's a reason why they didn't play any of the shooting footage. If you watch the trial, they purposely muted it when the firing was going.
Yep. Yeah, because I think it was from a different angle, maybe a closer angle. It was probably much more violent than something we've seen from an iPhone in the crowd, you
Yeah.
know?
Well, remember they did it like 3 different times, so they might have multiple angles.
They have that top angle that they took the camera from. It was mounted right above him.
Yep.
And they immediately, that was
Candace
one of the
released
things
that,
they
didn't she?
said, why did the feds take that and not show us what it says? Like, because they can't, there's the trial coming up. You can't do that, you dumb bitch. Like, it's not going to work.
Well, wait, didn't she say someone from Turning Point took it? I don't know if the police took it first, but
Yeah,
It might have been like a security from Turning Point. It was like a specific person. She had his whole fucking docs and 10 episodes about it, I
Yeah.
think. Like,
Yeah,
that's the guy
if you're
she
the
called
person,
on.
go ahead.
I think that's the guy she called on FaceTime, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, if you're the guy who takes that camera, you know what? You know where that camera ends up going? To the fucking feds. So they're gonna get it either way. It's evidence. They'll get it from you.
Oh yeah, yeah, and if you don't give it, you'll go to jail.
Yeah, bro, grab the camera, and the feds show up the next day, if even that late, and they get the camera from him.
Yeah, the other thing about this case that's interesting is that it's a state case, right? So it's kind of a kangaroo court. That's what I was saying when I talked about how the preliminary hearing took 10 months and then it's going to go for 5 days. Like, dude, you would never, ever fucking see something like that in a federal case. Ever. Dude, I remember, let's say I arrested somebody on Monday. By the next Thursday, I had to get him indicted. Like, that's how fast in the federal system and efficient you got to be.
Yeah, that's wild.
Why do you think cases like this take so long then?
I think in this situation, since it has so much media coverage, probably both counsels decided, you know what, dude, let's take our time so we can present the best case. Obviously, it's a big deal. And they probably came to a mutual agreement where, they'll keep delaying it so both parties can prepare. But probably more from the
you
defense.
don't want to be the one that fucks this case up.
Exactly, yeah. This is going to be really bad for whichever prosecutor or lawyer loses this. Or defense lawyer.
Yeah, like the OJ trial fucking destroyed like 20 people's lives that had something to do with really both the prosecution and the defense, but especially the prosecution. It ruined their careers that they didn't win that trial.
It did. That Jewish chick kind of resigned after. The other dude, I forget what he did, but yeah, dude, making OJ try on that glove was the worst thing ever because he was having arthritis at that point and he had a glove, like a rubber glove on his hand. So it didn't fit because his hand was swollen.
Yeah, they told him not to take his medication. His defense team told him to not take his medication for that week or something.
The glove didn't fit. And then I'm Hoplite entered the space.
That's actually pretty genius, man. Johnny Cochran's a fucking damn good lawyer. Like,
oh, dude, pretty much every lawyer that was in defense of OJ Simpson for that case died of some like horrible cause too. It's like, karmic energy may be real in that situation.
Yeah, we all know OJ
this
did
is gonna
it.
be,
but I'll be honest.
This is gonna be the biggest case either side ever get in their life. I mean, it doesn't get bigger.
Yeah, no, that case was. I remember growing up as a kid, that thing was all over the news. It was a big fucking deal. But I'll tell you all this: OJ definitely did it, but he didn't do it himself. I studied that case pretty extensively. I broke it down on my channel and all that other stuff. I could link it for you guys if you want. But the long story short is, ain't no fucking way, bro. He did that by himself. I think he was there with his son.
That's a viable theory that I've also heard before a lot, Myron, that he had somebody there, and that's what he wrote in his book too.
Yeah,
and said because he had his friend. What did he call his friend? Charlie, I think. Not to be ironic, but I think he said that he was there with his friend Charlie, and that if Charlie didn't bring the knife, that those people wouldn't have died that day.
Yeah. So, and I think it's his son because if you guys know the facts of the case, I know Greg does. The scene was literally the most bloodiest thing ever. Like Nicole Simpson's neck was like pretty much decapitated. So whoever killed both her and Goldman, who was like, a 25-year-old guy who trained martial arts, they had to have been either really fucking strong or more than one. And OJ, at that point, he was old, man. The guy had arthritis. Like, he wasn't in the peak shape. So his son, who's huge, right, and a chef, by the way, he's a chef and knows how to work a knife. I'm pretty sure they both went over there because his son also didn't like Nicole Simpson because what was it? Oh, he feels like she broke up his family because he's the stepson of Simpson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he always had resentment towards her because his mom wasn't her. If that makes sense.
Yeah. I've always wanted to know what OJ put away in the suitcase. That was something that they never came to a conclusion on in trial.
When he
They
went to
never
Chicago?
found that suitcase. They never found the suitcase that Robert Kardashian delivered somewhere at some point. And apparently there was who knows what was in that suitcase for them to have had to get rid of it. But they never found that suitcase, which is just so strange.
Was this like when he went to Chicago or another
Yes,
later on?
yeah. When he went to Chicago, it was the very first day that he got arraigned. Where Robert Kardashian is seen leaving the O.J. Simpson house with a suitcase. They attacked Robert Kardashian for that endlessly, and they asked him in his post-trial interview. He did a big interview on some big, maybe with Barbara Walters, and they asked him what was in the suitcase, and he said, "Barbara, I will never be able to disclose that. I'll take that to my grave."
Oh wow!
So that's an insane little factoid about that.
And people forget Kardashian was a really good friend of OJ, really fucking good.
Yeah, they were best friends.
Yeah.
They were best friends, and Robert Kardashian said in that same interview that I was just
He wasn't
talking
even
to
a
with
defense
Barbara
attorney,
Walters.
by the way. Did you know that? He wasn't even a defense attorney.
No, yeah, wasn't he retired or something? He came back as a defense attorney to defend OJ.
He did some bullshit litigation, CEO or IP law, the bullshit that you never litigate for. But
Yeah.
he basically what he did was he joined the team to make sure everybody else was doing what they're supposed to do.
Robert Kardashian said in that same interview with Barbara Walters that and this was I think weeks or maybe less than a month after the trial ended, that he believed that OJ did it. He said that the DNA evidence was damning, and that was something that changed his mind, and that he never really spoke to OJ again after that.
Oh, here's another one about for the theory on the sun. So I think it was either Nicole's hands or Goldman, but there were unknown African-American hairs in her hand, which clearly shows there was a struggle. And those hairs didn't match with OJ. So whoever was with OJ was black and, well, usual suspects, usual, right? But he was black. And obviously is very strong, very violent, knows how to work a knife, and had hair that didn't connect to OJ. So I truly believe it was his son that was there with him.
Myron, I wonder how much, because they didn't know anything about CTE or brain damage via football careers at that moment in time. I wonder how much that would have changed the outcome of that case. I mean, obviously OJ got acquitted anyways, but the angle would have been much different because the CTE that OJ probably suffered from, it may be some of the worst ever. He was a running back before so much of the helmet development and safety developments in the NFL.
Shit.
And he was the type of running back that would just try to run straight through you. That was something I was really looking forward to finding out. Not to be gruesome, but after he died, I was wondering to what extent he had CTE. But as far as I know, there's been no information released about that. I wonder, because I think that certainly played a huge role.
I think you're onto something, dude. And let me kind of add into your theory here. I'm sure you guys all know Antonio Brown, right? Was a star receiver, blah blah.
Yeah.
You all know he has CTE, right?
Yeah.
Next thing you know, he's walking off the fucking field, and the dude pulled out a gun at a fucking Aiden Ross event, tried to kill somebody. The dude is crazy. I brought him on my show, and you could tell he's not all there. He's his brain.
No, definitely not.
So I wouldn't be surprised if OJ was going through something else.
Myron, I actually wrote my master's degree dissertation about CTE and how it specifically affects race car drivers, but I do know a bit about it in regards to football. 99.6% of NFL players tested after they die have CTE. I think it's something 80% of college players, and then 60% of people that have only played football through high school. So CTE is almost a definite amongst every football player ever, let alone OJ Simpson, who played in a time with much less safety regard for safety.
Okay, so let me ask you this then.
Yeah.
With CTE at an advanced level, does that increase the likelihood of irrational violence?
Oh my God, by tenfold, a
Okay,
hundredfold.
there you
It
go.
catalyzes a protein in the brain that essentially creates like a casing around the lobe of your brain that controls like aggression. So I mean all of these guys, a lot of them kill themselves because they feel like they're forgetting what day it is. They feel extremely depressed. They have no regulation anymore for who they are, but also for reality. They're not able to regulate reality and routine anymore, which is something that I mean, so many football players have killed themselves because of CTE, and the movie Concussion really sheds a light on how much the NFL tried to hide it, and the role that it plays in people. So there were guys, NFL players that had CTE so bad that they started like eating things that were not edible towards the end of their lives. That
Well, I
it
think
gets
Ron's
really
right
fucked
here.
up.
Using Antonio Brown, as the control here, we can speculate easily now with that info that there's a high likelihood OJ was also having CTE because
Yeah.
OJ, for those that don't know, OJ was like loved in the 70s, guys. Like the dude was literally the fucking man. He had like a whole contract where Hurts, everyone loved him. He was the
He
face
was
of
like
town.
Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah, dude, he
He
was
was
like,
America's house nigga,
bro,
bro.
he was,
He ran it up the gut. He was a beast, and he was good on a promo, huh?
yeah,
All the commercials
and
for
he was
OJ. He
loved.
was the man.
And he was loved everywhere. So like, if you guys notice, after the Simpson murder, right, he's continued to commit crimes like reckless shit, like stealing his own memorabilia in Vegas. So like, I definitely think CT played a role because how does a guy that had it all, was successful, had all the women he wanted, all of a sudden becomes a criminal like
Oh,
that?
I think it not only plays a role, I think it's almost the definitive answer as to why he did what he did. Because
Agreed.
regardless of black people having an inclination for crime, somebody like O.J. Simpson that's reached the level of stature and fame that he has, it makes no sense at all to even risk in 1% of a way going out and just murdering two people because you're angry at them, and the only reasonable explanation for that is that you can't get inside the head of somebody like that because their head is quite literally different than yours, and it's vastly different because of CTE.
Oh, I'll do you one better. So Antonio Brown, and I hope all you guys are fucking liking our conversation right now. There's a lot of gems here. So let's juxtapose
Yeah, I'm
that
letting
with
you
with
cook.
AB, right? So Antonio Brown, and I'll give you guys quickly the lore. He goes to Dubai with this dude, right? This dude is like Muslim. One day, the dude goes to go pray, right? He leaves. The AB's there with some bitches. The guy leaves to go pray. He's like some Muslim Nigerian, right? He comes back. His chain is missing. It's worth like $100,000. He calls AB, yo, where's my chain? Where's my chain? Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. So he eventually he goes back to Miami, and he finds out that AB had the chain the whole time, and he stole it from him. So he files a lawsuit against AB for stealing his jewelry. Now we fast forward to the Aiden Ross event. So the dude goes to the Aiden Ross event. He sees AB there. They start fighting, right? When they're struggling and fighting, AB knocks over a security guard, disarms him, takes the pistol, and chases after this Nigerian dude. And he shot at him multiple times. You gotta be fucking retarded to do some shit like that. So
Yeah, that's insane.
yeah. So
Definitely,
Yeah, I mean,
we
it's
cracked the
definitely
case, bro.
CTE.
We just cracked the case.
Yeah,
So
well, I
I see
mean,
this a lot of times in my community as well because everybody knows at this point like I'm pretty involved in the MMA community and it's just as prevalent over there. I mean, you're seeing it right now. It's funny. I just was reading it like right before, actually during the space. Dustin Poirier. Everybody's been seeing the crash out lately. If you're in, if you pay attention to that, he's dealing with. He was talking about like CTE effects and especially when you combine the side effects there with CTE with alcohol or any drugs.
Al-
It's just like your impulse
alcohol is a huge
control, your
increase of it.
aggression.
Alcohol is a huge catalyst behind that same protein that builds in your brain that catalyzes the front lobe. Alcohol has the same sort of effect on it. So it
now
catalyzes the
drinking.
CTE in a lot of ways.
Imagine drinking and having CTE. Now you're a
Yeah.
fucking
And
demon.
And a lot of people think that CTE is from diagnosed concussions only, but that's a really huge misinterpretation of it. It's actually from repeated small hits to the head. So a lot of the times that you hit your head or go through crazy G-force even or like a vibration at all, you will rattle your brain in a way that can lead to CTE. You don't need to have a diagnosed concussion. Like a lot of people point to Antonio Brown, like you were saying, Myron. That one hit, I think it was Vontae's Burdick or Burfict. perfect.
Yes.
That hit him really fucking hard, and people were like, "Oh, he was different after that day," and that could be true, but that was a long time coming.
Yeah, you never know,
It's
man.
it's
Sometimes it's just the
small
small
it's
ones.
small repeated hits to the head, and that cause CTE over a long period of time. And like I said, it's literally almost 100% of dead NFL players that have CTE. So it's safe to say that basically anybody that's ever played in the NFL outside of a kicker has
Yeah,
CTE to
certain
some
levels.
extent.
There's levels to it, obviously. Like they say, I don't know if you've seen the studies. Even soccer players from heading the ball, they have levels of CTE.
Greg, I was just about to say this. I have
yeah.
a friend in racing that got into a really bad accident one time, and he literally lost the ability to read afterwards. And
Yeah.
like he cannot he for a period of time he went through some like really extensive therapies and like experimental medication and stuff, but he was like very freaked out and really down on himself for a long time because he got into a bad accident and lost the ability to read. Like, you know, me and you and the next guy can't even conceptualize that. Like, how do you lose the ability to read? But head injuries, you have to think about anything in relation to the brain is a human brain trying to understand itself. And that is like such an important thing to understand about the brain, because we'll never be able to fully understand the way that it controls us and the way that it affects us. All we can do is have our best attempt at it, because it is quite literally a human brain trying to understand a human brain.
Damn, not the dick, Goyo. Oh shit, my bad. Yeah, dude, it's insane. I mean, like I said, I've seen it firsthand. Being I've trained and kickboxing, boxing, MMA, jiu-jitsu, wrestling for the past 13 years, and I've seen a lot of people who, even like you said, it's not always the documented like, oh, like you see it in like MMA or boxing, some guy gets like viciously knocked out a bunch of times in a row. Then it's like more obvious. But sometimes, like I've seen people in the gym, they only have a couple pro fights, but they've been like
100%.
a million small blows in the gym. And
That's
a
it.
lot of people, especially in boxing and MMA, they actually have like their chin, like people would call it, their chin is gone before they even can make it to the big show, because they've taken, rather than maybe just one. Sometimes, I mean, the studies are varying, but a lot of people think, a lot of like science leads, it's actually worse to have like a sustained beating. That's why a lot of
Yes.
times,
Yeah. Greg,
you've
all
seen,
of the
like,
studies say
you've
that for the
seen a
most
lot
part.
more deaths. You've seen a lot more deaths in boxing, and that's because in boxing you get knocked down, you got to get back up, you get knocked down again, you get back up. Whereas in MMA, a lot of times you get knocked down, guy gets on top of you, pounds you out, pause, and it ends right there. But in boxing, it's a sustained beating. So even if it's not like you get knocked out cold, a lot of times the beating's worse. That's why we've actually seen like a lot more deaths in boxing, like the brain bleed from a sustained beating.
Myron, I'm curious about your experience with Antonio Brown off camera, and you don't have to reveal anything that you don't want to. But do you feel like it is at all performative for him to be acting the way he does, or is it truly he's just like a different person now?
Yeah, I think he's just a reckless. Like I think he's, no offense, I think he's like a reckless retard. Is really what it comes
Yeah,
down to.
that's
Like
safe to say.
he probably already had like these really bad habits, and he was able to suppress it with some rationale. But basically, his inhibition is gone. And it's interesting because you mentioned alcohol. That's literally what it is with this guy. And he smokes weed. He's like a
Yeah,
huge fucking pothead. So yeah, dude,
he's not doing anything to help himself there. That's for sure.
exactly, dude. Oh, and I forgot to tell you guys, after he tried to shoot at the guy, he fled to Dubai. Like, fled to Dubai, dude. It's fucking insane.
Yeah, that
He
all
really is like a
tracks.
grown child.
Yeah.
Like he
Oh,
doesn't
another
have the
thing.
brain
And
of
he
a
wasn't
normal
always
guy.
like that.
I
He,
keep
he
forgetting his
used to be
fact.
a soft-spoken guy.
He also sold a bunch of fake Richard Millies in Miami. I forgot to tell y'all that. So not only
I've heard that
attempted
he's
murder,
broke.
but yeah, he's really bad. Yeah, definitely he's bankrupt for sure.
And he gave up a lot of money in the NFL too. He had some good years left that he just completely threw away. He got a huge contract with the Raiders that had to let him go because he showed up in a helicopter like 5 days late to practice, and then went through cryotherapy and accidentally froze his foot so bad that he like had a major injury from it that took him like 2 months to recover from. And I don't even know if he played a game for the Raiders off of that big contract. Like, I mean, if you're looking $100+ million in the eyes and throwing it away to like show up to practice in a fucking helicopter, like you have something deeply wrong with you.
Yeah, he's clearly not thinking rationally these
Pictures
days.
of this rationing. We've seen lines of
Oh, I thought you were playing us something, Myron.
No, I'm watching the news on this fucking Russia-Ukraine thing, dude. It's fucking nuts. I think Putin's taking the gloves off.
Well,
Yeah,
I
I
heard
heard
a
you talking about
crazy
it a little
story
bit
out
on
of
your
that.
stream today. It's crazy. What do you think's gonna happen with that?
Dude, that war is cooked, bro. I'll be honest, dude. That war is fucking cooked, dude. There's a reason why Trump gave up. Like, both of these fucking guys, like, both maintain maximalist demands, and like, no one wants to fold. So it's like, and Germany's already like ramping up to start building weapons. So this war, I think, is going to easily go into damn near the 2030s, dude. There's no end in sight with this bullshit.
Why doesn't Russia? I've heard this argument so much. Why doesn't Russia just end it? Like, do they not have the capacity and power to just completely demolish Ukraine for all that it's worth?
So the thing with Putin is, a lot of people say he's like a, authoritarian piece of shit, war criminal, all this other stuff, right? But the one thing about Putin is that he's a big nationalist, right? In his eyes, he thinks one of the greatest catastrophes in the modern centuries was the downfall of the Soviet Union. So he's always looked at it like, yo, all you motherfuckers are Russian, okay? You guys are not Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan. Like, fuck that. You guys are all Russian. So in his eyes, he's like, okay, Ukraine, you guys are Russian, and I don't like the fact that you guys are letting fucking Americans put biological bombs pointed at Moscow. We got to fucking do something about this. And then obviously on top of them joining NATO. So there was so many different times where they provoked. And that's kind of what it is, man. Everyone gets all mad about what Putin did, but look what we just did. We just literally fucking bombed Iran. Like, we did the same exact shit. Same military operation, right in February as well, by the way. It's like we copied Putin word for word, man.
Yeah, certainly. I think a lot of people are mad at us for that as well. I think that is a sort of consistent standard that at least rational people hold between the two, is that, certainly an unnecessary war with Iran.
Yeah, but no, but I would argue, and this might be a hot take, I would argue Putin has way more justification to invade Ukraine
100%.
than we did bombing Iran or going to Iraq.
Yeah, by relativity, for sure. And something I noticed about Putin with his interview with Tucker is that, like, maybe beyond anything in relation to his ideology, is that he's like a historian. He can name a date and time of every single thing in Russian history, dating back to, like, thousands of years ago, nearly. And I found that to be very interesting because you are right. He is a nationalist
huge
above all
nationalist.
else.
He's
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for one, I can agree 100%.
Oh,
Because
you know what
for
else
one,
you should
I mean,
check out?
Russia
You should
benefits
check
from
out. He
this,
did
and we
it
don't.
like a 4 or 5 part series with like Oliver Stone back in like 2017. It's fucking awesome because it's before the war, so like you kind of get to see a different side of Putin with less pressure. It was filmed back in I think like 2015 between 2017, but it really gives you a good insight as to like how Putin thinks and how he moves and why he does the things that he does.
Myron, to what extent do you think that Russia and therefore Vladimir Putin does try to influence American politics?
To be honest with you, man, I don't think they really give a fuck too much. It's like they're kind of want to compete with us. Obviously they steal our technology just like the Chinese, but I don't think they're gonna, be like Israel and just be like dumb Jews and try to.
Yeah, I don't really think of it as like Israel, but I do think like there's some sketchy characters that have become suspiciously like pro-Russia. And at the end of the day, I mean, like
You mean
there's a
from
lot
that
of things to
perspective?
say about Russia, but they are still an adversary to us that, they don't try to help us. So
Oh, I thought you meant like trying to take over our government. But if you mean
no.
like operatives, oh yeah, dude,
Yes.
the Russians get caught all the fucking time spying on us, bro. Like there
Yeah.
was a big case I remember out in New York where there were like 10 different Russians using completely fake names, had families, had real jobs, had all this shit. And the FBI followed them around for 10 years, dude, and they arrested them. Next thing you know, a couple, I don't know how many years it was, like maybe 2 3 years. They're on a plane going back to Russia, and then Russia's giving some of their political prisoners back to us. So like, it basically is the same thing. We catch their spies, they catch our spies. We call a truce, and then we fly both of them back and try again later.
Yeah, and I think that's something that, especially in the Groyper space, that's something that Nick has pointed out is that, like, foreign influence extends far beyond just Israel, even if Israel is the one committing the most egregious form of it. And there's a lot of really big podcasters out there, without naming names, that have become suspiciously and extremely pro-Russia in the past 2 years. And to us, I think I can speak for, to me at least, it really does seem like such a LARP, like such a influence campaign to get a lot of Americans to be pro-Russia, for whatever that's worth.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a little ignorant to think that it's only Israel trying to influence the most influential country in the world. I mean, why would you? Listen, you got to put yourself, anytime you're asking yourself questions like that, you got to ask yourself, if it were me, would I not try to do the same? I mean, could you really even blame them? It's our job to stop it. It's not their job to not try, you know? But I forgot something else you touched on. Oh, go ahead, Super Bob.
Oh, I didn't have nothing to say.
Oh, it was telling me you were talking. My bad. But and then the other part of that is when Myron said that he thinks it's more justified. Yeah, I really don't think that's a hot take. Not only because they have more to gain, but also, I mean, Putin's made his stance on NATO and Ukraine very known for how long?
Like,
I
dude,
mean,
since the Clinton administration, bro. And I think I don't
exactly.
know if he
So,
told this to Tucker, and please someone correct me if I'm wrong here. Didn't him and Clinton have a discussion about him joining NATO, and they backed out on it?
Yeah, yes, you are
Okay,
correct about that,
okay.
Myron. That was something on the table at the time that Putin was reportedly. We never really hear from Putin himself, so it's tough to like speak on behalf of him. But reportedly, at least at the time, there was heavy consideration for Russia to join NATO.
Yeah, and I guarantee you, like all the other countries said no because we need NATO to justify the military-industrial complex. Like NATO is just fucking, it's basically just fuck Russia. They might as well change the name. They might as well just change the name to fuck Russia at this point because it's like, bro, that's what it's there for, you know. And
And
I don't like, and I'll turn it to one of you guys. I think our foreign fucking policy is so garbage, dude. It's like so frustrating how like we have all these like pointless fucking, situations, and we can't just do diplomacy. Like Cuba, for example. Oh, let's just fucking, you know, make them crash out. No more energy. Let people die. Oh, you know what I mean? Like this is how we do business. It's like, I get it. Cuba is responsible for stealing a lot of our technology and giving it to our enemies. But wouldn't it make more sense to try diplomacy first and kind of try to get them under our influence peacefully? But it's like, hey, they drop bombs and ask questions later. It's retarded.
Yeah, everything feels like a half step, right, Myron? Like where we have an ambition to do something and we only go 50% of the way, whether it be militarily or with diplomacy. It just feels like we never get all the way to that point. And that's something that a lot of people rooted for Trump to be able to do, but he might be the biggest perpetrator of it of them all, you
Yeah,
know?
he's a half-ass, bro.
Everything that he started, it's all half stepping.
Yeah.
It's never a
The
leap. It's
tariffs,
never
the
like
tariffs are getting rolled back. Oil markets are down. No new wars. That's a fucking lie. Like, yeah, dude, it's retarded. But I agree with you 100%. It's like a 50-50 half-ass thing. And the reason why this gets me mad is because China is over here fucking, being pragmatic, making deals all over the place, making money, focusing on their economy. Everyone gets along with them for the most part. Like China's building influence by being pragmatic. We still think we're the unipolar power of the world and we can fucking do whatever we want without consequence. And it's like, no, dude, we're in a
yeah.
multipolar world. And the last time we were the strongest country with no competition was after Desert Storm when we got Saddam out of Kuwait. But after that, everyone else started to catch up. Soviet Union started to build up. China started to build up. So if we keep doing this dumbass bullshit, we're going to lose influence and eventually lose our hegemony.
And I think that we're in such a push and pull state between being a democracy and an empire. And I think that's what really is what essentially you're saying as well, is that, that is frustrating, is because we're losing our sense of identity, whether or not we're the police of the world or the empire of the world,
Yeah, and this is another thing, like, since we were on Russia, I'll go real quick to Iran. This is what frustrates me so much about Iran. It's like, okay, we're in a war with these guys. when it doesn't benefit us, like what the fuck are we doing over there? Like did you guys not learn from Iraq? It's just insane, dude. Like the whole Iran thing.
I don't think that they wanted to learn from Iraq. I think almost nearly everything about Iraq was intentional, and they tried to backtrack when it was far too late.
No, that's absolute facts, man. And then Netanyahu, as usual, gave us some bad intel, just like he did back in 2002. Oh, if you take out Saddam, it's positive reverberations all across the region.
Yeah.
Remember that famous fucking shit line?
Yes.
And then next thing you know, we're in Iraq and there's no WMDs.
And as it pertains to circle back around to what we were saying about Russia, Myron, I thought that it was so compelling, maybe one of the most compelling things that I've seen in my life, that Vladimir Putin was the one that revealed to the world that Tucker Carlson applied for the CIA. Like, how did he know that before anybody? That was so strange to me when he asked Tucker. He was like, or he made the allegation of yeah, you tried to apply to the CIA, and Tucker was bewildered by that, and it was obviously angering to him. And I just always found that to be so interesting that Putin knew about that and that he alleged that in that moment.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
it seemed
dude,
like he didn't really like Tucker.
they got a fantastic intelligence service, man. They really do. So
I
yeah,
bet.
like this is just like they're the top ops for the CIA. So he probably got some like personnel records and looked up. He did a control F and found Tucker as an applicant or some shit.
And Myron, in your time as in the Department of Homeland Security, like, what would you say is the country that most supports immigration to America?
Ooh,
mass immigration.
Okay, pretty much all of South
What do you?
America, right, from Mexico on down.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like a gimme. I think Mexicans are by far the worst, especially if you're down south. You'll see them everywhere.
Which country do you think like supports and enables it though? Like, which country does it benefit the most for there to be mass immigration to
Oh,
America?
okay.
I guess I should rephrase
No
myself.
problem. No, now I understand the question. Cape Verde by far.
Okay,
Because
that's an interesting
I'll
answer.
explain why. So the reason why Cape Verde is the worst is because these dudes are notorious for fucking selling drugs in Massachusetts. They're always getting popped. They get arrested, do their sentence. ICE comes to pick them up. Next thing you know, when they try to deport them to Cape Verde says, no, we're not taking them back. Yeah.
Huh.
So there's a couple countries, and obviously things might have changed since I was on the job. But the three countries that would like refuse to take their citizens back, or it was always a pain in the ass, was Chinese, Cape Verdeans, and what's the third country? Chinese, Cape Verdeans. Oh, and Cubans for a bit. Cubans also, they wouldn't
Yeah.
take them back.
That's really interesting. Those are some answers that I wouldn't have expected, because it obviously benefits the world that America is the only country that's expected to not have a border, or at least, one of the Western countries that are expected to just not have a border, and to, we're the only ones that get guilt tripped about immigration, us and Europe,
Yeah.
and obviously there's some intention behind
Yeah,
that.
but Cape Verde is like one that no one really knows about. But yeah, that one is, at least when I was on the job, they had a 0% take back rule. If you try to send it, like, dude, it got so crazy. Like, ICE agents didn't even fucking, because I was an intern with ICE for a while before I went over to HSI. I'll never forget vividly. So I'm working with this agent. It's a gang case based on Cape Verdeans, right? They're doing drugs, moving all types of shit, RICO, whatever. He gets arrested. He's about to get out. The agent that ran the case asks and sees if ICE went to go get him when he came out. They're like, nah, bro, we're not going to waste our time. He's Cape Verdean. And I'll never forget, the agent started fucking going crazy. He's like, what the fuck? These motherfuckers never want to do their job. And that crash out has always kind of stuck with me. And that's when I realized, like, okay, they really don't take Cape Verdeans back. And the reason why it's bad is because, like, bro, they're fucking criminals. Like all they do is sell drugs and fuck up Massachusetts.
Yeah, it's a really low tier society as far as I know. They're very disorganized and disheveled over there.
And China,
It's like ran by the
China
mob.
will only take theirs back, because I'll never forget. I did a case where we found a guy smuggling like 20 Chinese nationals on on a fucking stowaway ship. And since we had caught them, if you call the government fast enough, you can repatriate them back to China if you don't put them in the judicial process. So like that's one of the ways to get around sending them back. But for the most part, they don't want to take their people back in China.
Yeah, that one surprises me a bit less, because I think that China certainly has a benefit and an ambition to have as many people that are as pro-China as possible in America.
Yeah, exactly. And also they look at it like, we're not going to bring you back here when you kind of betrayed us and did what you did. So that's another reason why they don't bring him back either.
Yeah, exactly. Do you think that China is like an ultra nationalist society as well?
Yeah, yeah. Because I think the only way that you can like do communism or socialism is you have to be a nationalist if you want it to work.
Yeah, that tracks.
Because like I look at like, and I'll give you an example. I see fucking faggot retards like Hassan Piker, right? Like calling for socialism. Everyone deserves health care. Everyone deserves, free tuition, blah, blah, blah. But what these left-wing commentators don't realize is that if you want to run socialism, you have to fucking control the borders because you can't afford to have foreigners coming in, draining our resources and fucking everything up. So, they're so stuck on race politics and not offending anyone that even when they talk about their political strategy to help the country, they can't even acknowledge that it only works if there's no immigration.
Myron, 100% right. And to that same point, to reinforce that point, they for as much as people like Hassan Piker talk about like class warfare and stuff, there is nothing on planet Earth that has benefited the 1% more than mass immigration to America. So it's such a deep and obvious contradiction, and it's just incredible that people aren't able to see through that in favor of what they view as kindness and empathy.
So one of the things I like to do to liberals when they say, "Oh, you're a fascist, you guys are capitalists, you guys are losers, socialism is the way to go," I say, "Hey, do you know who was one of the few leaders to actually implement socialism properly?" And they're like, "Oh, who? Adolf fucking Hitler, man." And then they just say, "What? What are you talking about?" I was like, "Yeah, dude. He literally brought his economy back in like 5 years. Like he's one of the few leaders that perfectly executed socialism. But he was a hardcore nationalist. That's the only reason it worked."
Yeah, certainly. I mean, a lot to say about Hitler, but it cannot be argued that he revived Germany from its most dire point in history. People were burning dollar bills to keep themselves warm because it lost so much value in that country.
It's so frustrating how
And
people don't
that's
know all this
that's why
shit.
you get something like Nazi Germany, is because people were desperate for an answer and a way to get better, and maybe they were even willing to sacrifice some level of morality for the person next to him to have some food on the table.
Yeah, no, 100%, man. And that's why nationalism is so it's critical for socialism. But these guys don't want to have that convo because then you got to have the uncomfortable immigration talk. And the last thing Democrats want to do is alienate the aliens.
Well, yeah, well, it's a huge chunk of their voter
Yeah,
base.
that's why they're
So
fucking fighting so hard for IDs for voting.
it's insane to me that hasn't passed
Dude.
yet. It's something that over 70% of the country supports, and our super strong Republican Party that we get begged to vote for every 2 to 4 years cannot pass this, like, the most popular bill in recent history.
Dude, as a guy that used to work immigration, a significant amount of it, we have a huge immigration problem, and people think it's just the border. No, dude, there's many different angles that we're getting ripped off. Number one,
Yeah.
obviously a land border with Mexico. That's the one that everybody knows about. Number two, Canada. Surprisingly, a lot of illegal aliens come through Canada. They'll not need a visa or whatever to go to Canada. Then they'll just cross the border, hiding in a trunk or some shit, right? Then, oh shit, sorry, I lost my train of thought. I was going.
I mean, legal immigration too is
Oh, yes,
obvious.
Thank you for reminding me. So legal immigration, where they, well, not even legal, but they do marriage benefit fraud. That's a huge business with dirty immigration attorneys. Then you got visa overstays. Students come into America, they, enroll to some like stupid fucking language school. They pay the school, come on over, have their F1 visa, then they disappear in the wind. So, dude, there's so many different ways that we're getting beat on immigration. It's not just the border.
And I think it's a lot worse than the numbers that are being reported to. Myron, I can just give you a sort of anecdotal example here. When I went to high school about 8-9 years ago, there was I cut out there.
Yeah, I get you know.
When I was in high school, there was probably no more than 5 to 6 Indians that I went to high school with. My same high school in my same hometown is now 70% Indian. I work at a youth athletic center near me where we test kids every 3 months. So we have like a lot of data about how many kids we have. 78% of them in the middle of New Jersey, a place that I grew up that was as white as can be, as far as I can understand, is over once again over 70% Indian. And it's insane. They've all moved here within the last 5 years.
Yeah, no, I'm assuming are you like in Texas? You had said you cut out there a little bit.
No, I'm in New Jersey.
Okay, yeah, dude, Jersey's run by,
Third highest population of Indians in the world.
is it beating North Texas though?
I think it's per capita where it's the third highest population of Indians in the
Okay.
world. It's behind India, obviously, and then a part of Canada, and then I think New Jersey per capita has the third highest population of Indians in the world.
Yeah, India's over. Canada's overrun by Indians, bro, and Sri Lankans. Lots of fucking
Mhm.
dude. The number one population of Sri Lankans is in Canada, outside of Sri Lanka itself.
And people joke about, saying that like these races, these different types of people coming into our country is like a Jewish bioweapon. But to what extent do you think that that is actually true? Because I do tend to lean towards the fact that that is true.
Yeah, no,
There
it
is
is.
a concerted effort to do
I'll give you
that.
proof right now. Look up a guy named Israel Zangwill.
Yeah. Yep. The guy that came up with "It's a melting pot"
Precisely.
quote,
And for
right?
everybody else in here that's listening, like, look at that, guys. And he literally wrote a book, saying the melting pot. And Jews historically, man, have always been pro-immigration and pro-left because it's a way to kind of insulate themselves from persecution themselves. Because if they
Yeah,
bring out
they're a
blacks and women,
diaspora.
now they have a couple layers of protection before they get discovered.
Yep. Well, that time seems to be running out.
Yeah, dude, it's surreal, man. Because there's a guy that talked about this problem before October 7th. I can't fucking believe that I open up TikTok and people are doing the Happy Merchant meme, dude. Like,
Yeah.
holy
Oh,
shit.
for sure. And Myron, I was thinking about this the other day. I would really like to know your thought about this. I was thinking about this the other day. It's not going to get better in 10 years. Like in 10 years from now, the information that has come into people's minds, it's not going to be forgiven in 10 years. I can only see this getting worse from here. And I know that you agree on this. I don't think any of us want to see any level of violence or whatever, but it's almost hard to imagine a different conclusion with especially how rabid and like unnuanced people are about this issue. Like there is truly like rabid hatred for these people right now. And I don't want to see what that comes down to, but it's hard to imagine a different angle where it goes from here. I don't see people becoming more forgiving of it over time.
Yeah, no, it's anytime you got a whole bunch of different cultures together, there's going to be issues, and I think the only country that's done this properly is the UAE. And I'm sure you know this, but for the audience listening, the UAE, Dubai, namely, 90% of their population pretty much are foreigners, and people say, oh well, how is it that Dubai has like 90% foreigners in one of their busiest cities, and there's no crime and it's clean and there's not really too many issues? Well, here's why. They basically run like, and I hate to use this faggot term, but they basically run an apartheid state. So, like, if you're an American
Yeah.
or a foreigner and you get arrested there for selling drugs, you're going to jail for 20 years. If you're if you're an Emirati and you get caught, they'll put you in rehab. So, that's, and also you can't. It's really hard to get a citizenship for the UAE, and on top of that, you can't get land, you can't do anything. So they make it incredibly difficult for you to get citizenship because they don't want foreigners to vote.
Yeah, and I like to some extent, I don't even know how much doing things or replicating things like that would aid America in fighting the issue of people waking up to, and I hate to use this term because it's become so overused at this point, but the Jewish question,
Yeah.
I don't really see how that anger becomes resolved in 10 years from now. It just feels like it's increasing by the day, and I'm worried about the people that are taking control of that sort of conversation. People like Hassan Piker, but even I think that there's some right wingers that don't have a foundation of morality and that do feel a sense of like seething hatred and anger for these people, and that's why people like you and Nick got to speak up as much as you can
Oh yeah.
because
No, you're absolutely right, bro. One of the things I always do, and hell, I'll even say it here since you gave me the alley oop, guys. Like, don't fucking call Jews kikes in public. Don't fucking threaten violence. Don't like do no crazy shit. Cause like, dude, anytime someone does something stupid and hurts, a Zionist, that's what they want, dude. Like that's literally what they want. So it's like,
It's what's going to let them off the hook.
yes.
Yeah.
So like, if you just like, we got the truth on our side, guys. Not to sound like a fucking cheesy, corny loser, but we truly do have the truth on our side. We don't need to fucking do violence. The reason why they got to do violence is because they know they're in the wrong. So yeah,
And
go ahead.
I think that there's a lot of people in this space, Myron, that have sort of obfuscated from the truth. Right wingers that are in the same realm as you and Nick. They don't have that sense of morality, and they don't have that same relationship with the truth. They look at everything, and they just want to figure out a way to blame it on Jews, on immigration, or wherever their finger is pointing that day. And while I think that there's much of our issues is attributed to that. I'm just weary of the people that are taking control. I don't think that they're smart enough to take on the complexity and the nuance of that conversation without resorting to something like violence.
No,
I
right.
think about people like Ian Carroll. I feel like his words lately have just become like increasingly angering and seething on, and it's like it's worrying because I know that he has a huge influence, and it's like, man, you're not Nick, you're not Myron, you're not like these people that handle the situation sort of a bit more delicately, and that's concerning to me.
Yeah, I mean, all it takes is one idiot to fuck everything up, and then once that happens, bam, anti-Semitism laws, free speech gets repealed. So it's like when you got the truth on their side, dude, like they're just looking for something because we know they want to be the perpetual victims. So
Yeah,
people got to be
and I think
careful.
unintentionally that's like a lot of what this Charlie Kirk trial is going to come down to, is just how many conspiracy theories are out there. I feel like it could be a really damaging blow to our side, the people that do have the truth on our side, is that there's so many loud mouths that have spoken up about how this is definitely Israel. A microphone exploded on his head. It's going to destroy our credibility, because the next thing that Jews are responsible for, that we do point our finger to, it's going to be immediately discredited by saying like, oh, well, you guys also thought that Charlie Kirk was killed by Israel. And I think that could be a potential blow for us. So that's something I'm looking out for in this Charlie Kirk trial
Sets a
too.
horrible precedent.
Yep.
Horrible. So.
Yeah, I mean, because that's exactly what they want, is to be able to discredit everything. So, when you just start blaming Israel for, I mean, I think it was you, Super Bob, who touched on it earlier. It's like the moment Charlie was shot, there was viral tweets that were saying like, oh, Israel did this. And not even like, let's look, we've all been around, at least most of us, at least in the space in some capacity for a while. It's understandable to want to, hey, maybe we should look into this certain group of people who have executed similar.
Yes.
That's normal. And if that's all it was from the beginning, it would be completely understandable. Appreciate the follow, Quinty. But it's a different level when you're just going out of your way the absolute second something happens without even waiting for a shred, not even one singular piece of evidence. When you're just immediately creating the what's the word I'm looking for?
The narrative.
When you've already come up with the narrative, when you've already made a conclusion, and then you're just collecting the evidence to support the conclusion you already made. That's when you're just you're giving our enemies everything they want, because the second they prove one of these wrong, let alone something as big as the murder of Charlie Kirk, that's exactly what they want. Because if they can disprove this one, they can disprove it all.
And that's why, like I was debating this fucking faggot Zionist the other week, and the 9/11 topic came up, right? And he's like, oh, well, you're going to talk about your conspiracy theory, right? And I was like, actually, no, I'm going to tell you about 9/11 straight from the FBI 302 reports. And I just went through it, line by line, and I told him, look, because he asked me, oh, did the Jews do 9/11? And I was like, no. The people that did 9/11 were a multitude of different groups, right? The Israelis, Saudis, American deep state. It was multiple different organizations working, not knowing what the other is doing or allowing things to happen. And that's how we got hit. But to say, oh, the Jews did 9/11, you're missing a big part of the picture.
It's a huge simplification of it that totally like dilutes and muddies the water of something that is partially true.
Yeah, and it hurts all of us. So that's like the worst part.
Yeah, yep, and that's something that's really bothered me about how the conversation surrounding the Charlie Kirk trial has went is that to what Greg said, is that so many people are just muddying the waters of it, and it's scary that they don't really see the end in sight there, that's not good for us, and that it's going to hurt our credibility once Tyler Robinson presumably is
Yeah, I
guilty.
mean, I think waiting for the trial is the best way to go. Obviously, a lot of people, had their theories, but we'll see, man. The preliminary hearing tomorrow is going to be day 2, so I anticipate there's going to be some fireworks because the defense attorney is going to cross-examine the guy.
Yeah, that'll for sure be interesting. I'll certainly have my eye out for that.
Yeah, because he's the 2 agents from SBI. Those are going to be the guys that the defense is going to probably grill the hard. Reports, they got the search warrants, like they did all that stuff.
Yeah, I am curious what's going to come out about it that we don't already know.
Well,
I'm
that video
curious
we
of like,
discussed earlier, that might come out.
yeah. Well,
If
I
that
think
comes
that
out,
they
it's
did
done.
say in the report that I saw about the fact that the prosecution does have those videos, I think that they did mention that they have not been made publicly available yet, obviously, but that they do intend on making them publicly available in due time. So I think we'll see.
I think it's an
Tyler
ace in their
Robinson.
back pocket.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, you can't really disprove that, especially if Tyler Robinson's not really even interested in
And
pleading not
I'll tell you
guilty.
something else interesting. So when I was an agent, right, I would write criminal complaints, right, which is supported by an affidavit. In every single agent's affidavit, one of the lines that you pretty much put in there all the time, the facts I'm about to present are not a full representation of everything I know. It is only for attaining the degree of probable cause. And you kind of write it that way to let people know, dude, I'm giving you the bare minimum here. I have more, but I don't want to disclose it. So that's like the
Yep.
cover me sentence. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're just holding on to that. It's not illegal to do it.
Yeah. Yep. I think that might be exactly what they're doing. I think that game plan sort of tracks.
Yeah. And yeah, because the prosecution, I will say this, like from the public sentiment, they're going uphill battle, dude.
Insane.
Yeah, I definitely feel like there's more people that think it was Israel than people that believe in
Yeah, a lot of the conspiracy theorists don't really realize that they are at like the popular end of that topic. Like they think that they're being like the dissident ones that are like opposing the mainstream narrative. The mainstream narrative now is that Charlie Kirk was killed by Israel. I feel dissident when I deny that.
Yeah. Yep.
100%.
And people just really lack that sort of like critical thinking and nuance in that, and it's scary, man. I see them getting angered by it. I mean, Myron, you probably saw it today. Like, I have never seen so much anger over the thought of presenting evidence, let alone like Andrew Wilson wanted to challenge these guys to a debate, and they have written 1,000 paragraphs why they won't do a debate. It's like, man,
Dude,
it
yeah, it's
would have
like,
taken you less time to do a fucking debate.
dude, it's like World War III in my feed because I'm friends with like everybody. I'm friends with Candace and friends with Nick.
Yeah.
Like Andrew. So for me, I get along with Andrew Kovic. So I'm over here just like looking. This looks like fucking WrestleMania on my timeline, bro. It's
Yeah.
nuts.
I don't want to
Ian
get
too.
you
He's a buddy of mine
in the
too.
middle of
But
anything.
sorry, go ahead.
I don't want to get you in the middle of anything. I don't want to mention like specific names and get you all fucked up here.
Nah,
But
nah.
yeah, I mean,
It's just
it is all
hilarious
those
to
people.
see them fighting on the timeline because I know
Yeah.
it's like Royal Rumble or some shit. WWE.
Yeah, I saw your chat. I mean, I get it enough in my chat. So in your chat, it's like another level, dude. I was in there watching your coverage today because you and Andrew had some good coverage going today on the case. And I mean, you're this is something where I really do think you shine because
I
obviously
appreciate that,
you've got
man.
experience behind, on the other side, which a lot of people, they're if they have had any of that experience, they don't want to talk on it. But I think it's actually super beneficial that you've been kind of on a different side than most and can speak from that place. So definitely with some great coverage. Are you going to be going live tomorrow as well?
Yeah. I'll probably go on in the afternoon, maybe start a little bit later. And I really
We'll
appreciate that,
fucking be
Greg.
there, brother.
Thank you so much for like that compliment, man. That means a lot. People know me as like the fucking black Nazi and shit like that, but no one really knows what I used to do before this. And for those, sorry, go ahead. You want to say something?
I was just going to say, Myron, I think a lot of people know you for the fresh and fit
Yes.
panels with the girls and stuff like that. And to double down on what Greg said, not to just turn this into a glaze fest, but yeah, I mean, this is where you shine totally. I can say that absolutely. This is your best content. For people like us that do understand what's going on, we aren't really the masses. When I watch your content, it's always about this. Your second episode with Nick, I believe it was on Saturday. That was like one of my favorite Nick interviews I can remember seeing in a long
It
time.
was really good.
And that one is full of gems, and a lot of people usually can't keep up with Nick, and that's a lot of the reason why it's hard to watch him get interviewed. And you kept up with him there and offered just as much there as he had to offer. So that was
And
awesome.
guys, I really fucking appreciate that. And it's kind of interesting because anytime I meet you guys at a TP USA event, anytime I run into you guys in the street, all you motherfuckers are high IQ, dude. It's literally like, you guys just fucking get it, dude. I'm over here explaining something, you guys finish the sentence. You already know. So that's a definitely huge set of IQ. And like Nick says, guys, I agree. Like, we got to get our young men, going to these institutions, trying to get into an Ivy League school, infiltrate, then dominate, right? And then once you got some motion, you got some sauce, and they can't do anything to you, now the mask comes off and we're saying fuck Israel. So like, I don't want any of the young guys to like lose an opportunity before they can. And as far as like the true crime stuff, I was gonna get off soon here, but if anyone needs has questions or whatever, I'd be happy. My background, basically, I started my career in Laredo, Texas. I did everything from child exploitation to weapons to drug trafficking to money laundering. I did it all, gang cases. Then I moved to Miami, did more Colombian drug trafficking and human smuggling, and was on the job for about 7 to 10 years. And fun fact here, I actually was working for the government when I first started my YouTube channel. And as we're starting to blow up, they basically said, dude, what are you doing? And I was like, I just run the podcast. They're like, yeah, you got to pick one, dude. Or else like you can't do the job and do the fucking podcast. So that's why I ended up resigning. And then someone fucking doxed me. Like, one of my haters doxed me because I have like a unique name. And they pulled up like a criminal complaint of a case I did back. And it backfired because I just basically said, you know what? I'm doxxed already. I might as well share this information with you guys. So, yeah, thanks to that faggot. Now you guys know what I used to do, and we can give some different insights.
Hey, well, honestly, I'm appreciative to that guy, low key, because hey, I've experienced on a much lower level the same thing happen, like kind of get doxxed, and then you're like, well, might as well just 10 toes down. So there's a silver lining there, because seriously, I'm not just saying this. I said it on Kick. I said the same thing on here, not just because you're here right now. A lot of times, especially if it's geopolitics and you're talking with Nick, it's almost there's such a gap you can't even really have a conversation. So we just got to get, oh, Nick, oh, how'd you get into politics? Oh, we got to hear like the same background shit. But when you and Nick go, I was like, dude, Myron's one of the only people might know you, at least a lot of people, the casuals, for the fresh and fit stuff. But honestly, man, like the content I saw you just got your TikTok back. You're going to be doing some more. Obviously, you got to censor yourself a little different over there. But,
it sucks, man.
Yeah, but
TikTok
no,
is
seriously,
so
keep
fucking
doing
gay.
that, because I think you shine. People don't know honestly how much you can keep up like with the best when it comes to that. Like you and Nick, like super.
And me and Nick, I don't want to disclose too much, but since you guys are the homies, and I really appreciate these compliments, guys. Every day I wake up and fucking look at dumbass DMs from niggers saying they're gonna kill me. So I really do appreciate the support, guys. But yeah, no, dude, I'm trying to get Nick to come down to Miami. I think if we, did more shows together, it kind of like bounced off, because I agree with you guys. Ask him the same redundant questions about like, oh, what happened to Daily Wire? Why do you hate Ben Shapiro?
Yeah.
I think it's better like where me and him just break down the news and just feed off each other. Pause. So I'm gonna try to do more shows like that with Nick. Because I think it'll be a good collab, and you guys really it got a lot of positive reviews. Like, hey, this was like fucking awesome. Because normally people bring him in to interview him, but I think like us sitting down and talking about contemporary news, I think you guys would like that a lot.
Yeah, definitely. I can kind of speak for a lot of us, at least. That is.
So you know what? Fuck it, I'll hit him up. I'll see if we can start doing it like every 2 weeks or so, just because you guys are. You guys
we did like a watch along in my Kick when you guys were live, and I mean, I don't think I saw a single person, like everyone, even the people, obviously you heard it. It was actually kind of funny. Like that panel. It was funny because right at the
Oh,
beginning, I was
dude.
like, oh my God, bro, this panel, bro.
Yo, you don't know how much I want to Sean Connery these bitches, dude. Oh
Bro,
my
I
God,
could
dude.
see it in y'all's face, but honestly, everybody
And I
was
was
like,
extra
dude,
mad because Nick was there. Normally I'd like
yeah.
not get as pissed off, but I was like, you fucking bitches. Like, you got Nick fucking Fuentes here and you guys are acting like whores. Get the fuck out of
Yeah,
here.
W kicking out that Francesca girl just because Nick wanted her to be kicked out
Oh,
too.
yeah,
That
yeah.
was a big W.
Yeah, dude. Like, she's a clout chaser. So as soon as he said, like, yo, you know, because she's not stay, I was like, bro, get the fuck out of here.
Dude, she was cloud chasing for me, like freaking being weird in here, trying to like come in here when she was A-Log and Fishback, and then she 180'd and now she's like Fishback's #1 fan. I'm like, bitch, I am not giving you any attention. So I can only imagine what it's like on another level when she's there. But
Oh, it would have been bad. She
yeah,
probably would have said some dumb shit. I don't know.
yeah, but yeah, no, seriously, that would be a great idea, dude. Because honestly, when y'all went live before the panel and it was
What do
just
y'all
you
want us to
two,
like focus on when we do it? You guys want like geopolitical news, cultural shit? Like what would you guys want to hear?
dude, whatever's, I think honestly, if y'all were doing it like regularly, just whatever's going on. I mean, obviously
Okay.
Nick really shines in the geopolitics, but since you kind of do a little bit of a mesh there, I mean, Nick's funny side really comes out a ton when he's talking about, just the more casual stuff. So, even if it was just a mesh of like what's happening a little bit, like, dude, as a regular podcast would be sick, bro, because seriously,
Okay.
I think there's only a few people who can actually go back and forth and hang with Nick when it comes to like
What do you guys think? Sundays at like evening time? Is that the best for y'all or weekdays?
dude. I
It's
think
gonna be hard to get Nick woken up by then, but yeah, that would
Oh no,
probably be
dude, I
good.
sleep all night. I sleep all day too, bro. I'm a
the
nocturnal.
flock will come, bro.
Yeah.
I
If you
think
build it, they'll
regardless of
come.
time, I think we will be there. I'll tell you that.
Fair,
For
fair. No,
sure.
I appreciate, and I always like to like get feedback from you guys because it helps me a lot with like making the content better and shit. A lot of people complain, bro. Why you always ask your chat how the content is? It's like, dude, I don't want to be a fucking shitty ass streamer, man. Like, but no, yo, if you guys anyone had any questions or anything like that about law enforcement, FBI, HSI, you want to be an agent, fucking how the government works, how arrests work, any of that, I'll hang out for a few more minutes if anyone got questions. But I feel like I hijacked the space, so I apologize if I did.
No,
No,
dude,
you didn't hijack anything.
No,
Bro.
no. Anyone who wants to be a Fed, raise your hand right now so we know you want to talk to them.
Hey man, it's a good job, guys. Like I know it gets like a lot of fucking slack, but it's a really fucking fun job, man. And I never wanted to leave the government. It's like the only reason I left is because my co-host he had already quit his job, so I couldn't leave him hanging.
W loyalty. Yeah, I honestly was letting you. I was trying to let you kind of rip because it's good having you and you're educated on these topics. But I'll accept some people in here.
Yeah. Whoever has questions or anything or wants to chop it up for a bit, I'd be happy to add some value because I know a lot of you guys here are young, bro. Like you guys are the future. So, anytime I'm around you guys, I feel like it's my duty to be the big bro. Pause, no homo.
Nag, do you got something? I saw you raising your hand.
No questions, dumb gentlemen.
He muted back. I don't know if your mic's messing up here, but yeah, you can say your piece if you got something, Nag. I saw you were raising your hand.
He's probably black, bro. Fresh of the month, internet cutoff. Bought the Jordans instead.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I actually had a couple things really quick.
What's up, man?
Just to pick your brain. What I was thinking, honestly, since you guys actually most of the time really cover a lot of the same stuff in regards to like what's going on in the world and whatnot, I think what would be awesome is like maybe just giving some more insight. I know you have like multiple like rental properties. I'm not sure about Nick, but like stuff like that we can like learn and give some more like inside details on what we could do to, like you were mentioning earlier, try to gain some power.
Great question. If you look on my YouTube channel and type in Fresh and Fit and then say type in Fresh and Fit real estate step by step, there's a video there. I have all the timestamps and I go in meticulous detail about how to get your first rental property.
Do you think all that stuff would still work even in today's?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because the process is the same. The only thing that's changed is like interest rates and like how hot the real estate market is, but it's all the same, dude. Nothing changed. It's only the rates.
I got you. Okay.
Yeah. Hold on. One other caveat. Commercial is bad. Yeah. So like, commercial is the one that's changed the most in this situation because thanks to COVID, people realize they don't got to be in the office to work. So many companies like stop their brick and mortar business and let them work from home from a laptop.
Oh, shit, I didn't even think about that part.
Commercial is going bad.
Because shit. Yeah. I mean, that hasn't even crossed my head on that side. I was looking at a couple of quadplexes to use my FHA on, but I don't want to hijack the whole conversation about real estate. That would take a year and a day in and in itself, but I'll definitely check that out for sure.
Yeah, for FHA, 4-unit is the max, but yeah, dude, pick up that 4-unit, dude. Put your 3.5% to 5% down, get it. Put 3 tenants in.
Yeah, that's the plan. I live in Central Florida, so there's a couple near me.
Oh, okay.
There was one in Orlando I was looking at. It was a little bit on the high price range, and I would have to like finesse it a little bit with combining the income. But problem is on LLCs, it's very difficult to get them to be convinced when you're trying to pull out the loan and shit. You know. So,
oh wait, you try to get the loan under the LLC?
No, so I do work a full-time job, but I have an LLC and an S corp that I work under because I do like insurance adjusting for one thing, and then I also like I 3D print.
Yeah, but when you applied for the loan, like you used your business like stuff, or did you use your personal information?
Personal, because I had it consistent for 2 years. Yeah.
Yeah, no, there's nothing wrong with that because like personal is fine because you can always transfer it to an LLC later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because if you try to buy, because I've done this experiment, if you try to buy a house under an LLC, what ends up happening is like they're going to try to, they're not going to give you the best loan terms because they look at it as more risky.
Yeah, that was the problem I was running into. So I had to literally like get a full-time job, so I have like income on paper. Now I've been working there for a little while now. It pays well, but what do you call it? I'm just trying to keep all that stuff going at the same time, and I want to start getting into real estate. If there's anything that's not going to go away.
The first house is the hardest house, but once you get it, you're cooking. It's a domino effect.
Yeah, exactly.
Because then you can start borrowing against that house and move on to your second property. So it's a leapfrog. Just make sure you stay in the house the first year, dude. Don't move before you'll go to fucking jail for fraud. The FBI really cracks down on that shit.
Shit, is it a year or 2 years?
You live in it for 1 year and you can move out.
Oh, that ain't bad.
Yeah, it's good. You just make it work for a year. 8-9 months in, start looking for another property. Put a down payment from all the money you save by not paying rent. Boom, you're good to go. Get the second one. Exactly. You can do it up to 4 times.
Exactly.
But I have way more detail, bro. Type in Fresh Affair on YouTube and then type in real estate step by step. Dude, I go in crazy detail in there. It's like your one-stop shop for it.
Yeah, I'm definitely have to check that out for sure. I was gonna say too, about like what you guys can address too. Like it was really with like the geopolitics and everything on the side of Russia. And
real quick, Greg, can you bring Josie up if you don't mind? Because I'll have Josie put the links for you guys so you can reference them in the Jumbotron or whatever.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, normally I don't. We don't let women have rights, but this is a rare situation.
Yeah, I rarely bring women that, so I wasn't trying to not accept her. I just I fuck with Josie. She's come around sometimes. I just almost never give women the mic. She knows this.
Yeah. Hey, man, it's the safety. But go ahead, Gabo, man. What's up?
Yeah, I was gonna say about the whole thing with the Ukraine war and everything like that. Now, I think that's also a super interesting topic because of how everything like correlates and whatnot. And the reality is with the Iran war and everything, I just feel like it's a lot of the things that just aren't being noticed that's actually going on in the background that just people seem to ignore because it's been going on for so long. And the reason why I was bringing this up is I have seen there was a rabbi that was discussing it, and I was going to ask you because maybe you know what I'm talking about. With that, it was he was basically essentially saying to like get them to intentionally fight each other to eliminate the Slavs themselves. And I forgot what the tweet was. I saw it on Twitter, but it was like a whole quote and shit like that. But there was a rabbi that was specifically saying that the war was intentionally designed to do exactly what it's doing.
Yeah, I think it backfired, bro. Like the entire Muslim world is behind, Iran at this point. And like, 20 million people attended his funeral. I don't know if you guys saw the video, but dude, it was like a fucking sea of people. I think it's officially the biggest funeral of all time right now.
Jesus.
Well, I think he smoked, like he basically smoked the Princess Diana and the Queen and all these other people that died.
Yeah, but yet we're supposed to believe that who they have in power now is going to be way more,
Lenient.
benevolent. It's like, dude, we look at what we've done. Why would we expect anything else? But
Yeah.
hey, my kick chat wants me to ask you,
Sure.
how much of the terrors or how much of the terror cells that infiltrated the border under Biden, how much of that do you think was orchestrated, and how much do you think is just
Like smuggled in, like via the government, or like by criminal organizations?
Yeah, by the government. How much of it do you think was the government, and how much do you think is just kind of a consequence of having an open border?
I mean, you always have dirty agents, right? You're always going to have dirty CBP officers that let drugs through the bridge. You're always going to have Border Patrol agents that don't do their job or are incompetent. So it's really hard to tell, but, I'm sure it happens. The border's vast. There's a lot of agents. You're always going to get at least one bad apple.
Yeah. For sure. Josie, you got some? I see you raising your hand. Riz, you're going to be the first woman to speak in this space.
And Josie, if you don't mind, if you could dig up the YouTube channel on real estate and put in the Jumbotron so everyone can refer to it.
Oh. It's like there's like a force field around the space. It refuses to let a woman speak.
Yeah, it's like it's like magic in the space. You can't talk now.
She unmuted, and it's still just like it's like there's no way that Greg actually wants her to speak. Nah, listen, it's nothing but love for Josie. She's actually been one of the few women that has actually spoke. But if you, I don't know if you're having a mic difficulty there, definitely put those links in the chat so we can find it. I'll put it in the Jumbotron. But if you figure that out, you can say your piece too. But in the meantime, did anybody else? I know Myron's gonna get out of here. Did I let up a couple faces that look familiar?
Is it working?
Oh, there you go. What's up?
Oh, that was Zero Pod. Okay, that's weird. My phone's been glitching. So, which channel did you want me to post? Like you said, the real
It's
estate.
on Fresh and Fit. It's on Fresh and Fit. We did it a couple years back. It should be like how to buy real estate step by step, something like that. That's the one. We did it a couple years ago, but all the
Yeah. Okay, I think I remember. If somebody's got it handy, if you're in the listeners, if you can DM it to me, otherwise I'll be like looking for it.
I think if you search